Recording in progress.
Chair, we are ready to begin.
Good evening. It is 6:01 p.m. and I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the San Marino Design Review Committee of November 1st, 2023. If you could please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Staff roll call, please.
Committee Member Lakon,
Present.
Committee Member Chang,
Present.
Committee Member Batnish,
Present. Present.
Vice Chair Cho,
Present.
and Chair McKay.
Present. The agenda is posted 72 hours prior to each meeting at the following locations: San Marino City Hall, the Kroll Public Library, and the Stoneman Building. The agenda is also posted on the city's website. The city welcomes public input. At this time, the public may address the Design Review Committee on items that are not on the agenda. Pursuant to state law, the Design Review Committee may not discuss or take action on issues that are not on the meeting agenda. To ensure that everyone, including those joining us remotely, are able to hear all speakers clearly, please speak directly into the microphone. Please note that all comments are limited to 3 minutes and will be timed by city staff. I would now like to ask staff to explain how the public comment will work for those individuals who are participating through Zoom or by phone.
Should a member of the public wish to provide a public comment, you can do so in several ways. You can email staff at planning@cityofsanmarino.org and we will read your comment into the record. Or you can use the raised hand feature on Zoom. And when the item is up for a public hearing, we will open the public comment and unmute your mic and you can speak at that time, or you can type in the chat feature.
Thank you. Does anyone present here wish to speak on an item that is not on tonight's agenda? If so, please come forward to the podium, state your name and city of record. Seeing none, do we have any public comments submitted electronically?
We do not.
Okay. Moving on to public hearing, each committee member has received plans and staff comments and has reviewed every item on the agenda. And usually visited each site, not applicable tonight. The general order for hearing each case will be as follows. The staff will discuss the case, provide background information and a recommendation. Committee members may ask questions of staff after the presentation. We will then have, for tonight's agenda, public comment from in-person and teleconference participants. At the conclusion of public comment, there will be a chance to respond to public comments, I guess, by staff. We have no applicants tonight, at which time the public comment will be closed. And then I'll ask for comments from each of my fellow committee members for discussion. I will ask committee members not to repeat the comments of their fellow committee members. And then we will vote to approve or deny the phases of tonight's agenda. All right. Staff, I think would like to present
Yes.
phase one. If you want to make an overall presentation and then present phase one of the meeting. Thank you.
Yes, so I'll go quickly over the goals of tonight's meeting, and then we'll go more into depth with each phase. So starting, I'd just like to start off that the last time that the Design Review Committee heard about this project or updating the pre-approved roof materials was on August 2nd, 2023. And the DRC reviewed several of the samples we had at the time and then asked staff to coordinate to see if we can get manufacturers' representatives to speak on behalf of the products that we potentially would be adding to the pre-approved list. With this comprehensive update, it's quite extensive, so staff has suggested the meeting be broken up to 4 different phases. To overview, the first phase would be discussing with the manufacturer representatives about the new roofing materials being added to the list and asking them any specific questions that you may have of them to make a formal recommendation to the Planning Commission. The second phase would be the color selection, not only for the new materials you're potentially adding, but color selection for the existing materials, whether that's adding colors or removing existing colors you may feel is no longer appropriate. The third the third phase will be approving or suggesting changes to the special requirements and conditions of approval of installing certain types of roofing materials and their requirements that is currently listed. And phase 4 would be the sole conversation on composition shingle and how the DRC would recommend to the Planning Commission move forward in approving or changing requirements for composition shingle. To start off with, I would like to go more deeper into phase 1. So phase 1 we have here, and let me walk through the materials. On this side of the dais, there are all the new roofing materials that are not currently on the pre-approved list. We have the same models, but different colors. So you can see the colors that we're being asked to add on. We have the Cool Roof, which is like the reflector series. And then we have the normal non-Title 24 roof here. We have different colors of the same model here for the Empire Shake. We have the Decra Roof example. And on the back of the Decra Roof example, you can actually see the different colors they offer for this model. So that can help you make an informed decision. And then we also have 2 photographs of the Decra model being installed in a home in San Marino with the address on the back. We have the Enviro Shake. We have 2 samples and we have 2 different colors here as well. And then on this side of the dais, we have the, although at the last Design Review Committee meeting, it was recommended that out of the Owens Corning, the Woodcrest model would not be considered because it was thinner, but that the Woodmore model would. So this plank is split into 2. Disregard the right-hand side because you're not considering that, but the left-hand side, you would be considering it because that was something you wanted to look more into. We have the different colors here. Then we had the Landmark TL, which is currently on our pre-approved list. We have the Presidential Shake TL, which currently our pre-approved list only has Presidential Shake, not the TL version. And also we have the reflector series, their reflector series called Solaris. And so we have the Solaris model. And lastly, here on this last corner are The other roofing materials that is currently on the list, such as cedar light, mission clay tile, Da Vinci, cedar, and natural wood shake. Presented before you, I have the 4 phases printed out, and then addition to that, we also have the color samples printed, and we'll go more into depth with each of those. So if we take a look at the handout for phase 1, and should the public would like to view it, we also have extra handouts in the back. Chair, if it's your pleasure, we can start with phase 1, item 1, which would be the simulated wood shake, the manufacturer being EcoStar and the model being Empire Shake. Staff is available to answer any questions, and I believe representative is present to answer questions as well. For EcoStar, for the first item, yeah.
Yes, let's proceed in that fashion. And I'd like to compliment staff and everybody who's worked on this project tonight for just superb organization and presentation of the materials that were presented before the meeting and the materials that are here present for the public and for the committee.
And so they'll be online, so give us 1 second so we can give them permission to speak.
EcoStar is presenting via Zoom.
Yes.
Okay.
If you can give Neil permission to speak, Sabag.
Committee member Lakon is asking which items are EcoStar?
EcoStar are those 3 items right there in the 3 different colors. Yeah.
Neil, if you can see on the screen, we're trying to promote you to a panelist on Zoom. So that'll give you video and audio privileges. If you could please accept. And you should be able to start when you're ready.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, my name's Neil. I'm with EcoStar. We're a manufacturer up in upstate New York, manufacturing synthetic shake and synthetic slate. I only think that you picked our synthetic shake. That's what I see down there right now. I did bring samples for the slate also, but it looks like that wasn't chosen. But I do represent both, the slate and the shake.
I believe it's Empire Shake, right? Okay.
Empire means it's Class A for California, Class A fire rating. And colors. Is San Marino Title 24, or have you guys made up your mind yet?
We're moving in the direction to get more Title 24 compliant. That's something that a serious conversation we're having as part of our second phase. But feel free to discuss the differences between the 2.
Well, the difference is about 10% in cost and availability of colors. I did drop off brochures. Does everybody have one of our brochures there?
Yes, I believe it's in our materials. Does everybody see that?
If you go to the,
It's-
let me see what page this is. Hold on 1 second. I have to turn on a light to look at the page. Page 18 and 19 in the brochure, it shows the colors. Doesn't look like you guys have the same brochures that I dropped off.
We just have a handout. We have a,
I believe the
Oh.
brochures were added as part of the supplemental items,
okay,
as the
Okay.
complete packet.
okay.
Well, it shows the colors, and on the right, it shows the Empire Standard colors. Those are not only Class A, but those are Title 24. So except 3 of the colors, the black, the green, and the Sarasota. All the other colors are Title 24. On the left side are not Title 24, which are available in the Empire, but I only brought Title 24 colors.
For the benefit of the committee, could you please present how you distinguish your material from others in the industry? What are your strengths? What do you promote about your particular the EcoStar Empire Shake?
Ours is the most realistic out of all of them. It is 3/8 inch, and if you look at it, it looks more like real old shake. We also have, I think you have samples up there of an Aspen blend, and that is a hybrid. So 3/4 of it is 3/8, 1/4 is 3/4 inch. So it gives it the realistic movement of a shake roof.
I have a question to want to know a little bit more about the actual material of that roof. Is it plastic? Is it made of?
Well, we don't call it
Plastic material?
plastic. Ours it's made of resins and pre-consumer recycled material. So 20% of it is recycled, which I think there will be a lot. Hold on one second. The dogs just came in. Stay there. %20 is recycled material.
And how long has it been on the market? And what is the expected life of the material?
We give a 50-year warranty on it, and it's been out for 15 years.
Okay. Another 15 years.
50,
And-
50.
5-year warranty.
Yes.
But you said it's been out for 15, right?
No, we've been manufacturing for 15 years.
15.
Right, I think
yeah.
you heard it correctly.
Yeah. Okay. So out of the 15 years on the market, have you heard any major feedback or issues and problems with it?
No problems, no issues at all. None that I know of. And I've been representing it for years in Southern California, and no problems on my side at all.
So can you walk us real quick on the installation method? Let's say if you got two situations, one with plywood, what would you recommend in the underlayment before your material goes on? And if there's no plywood, can it be used? Can you walk us through quickly on that?
What you have to do is no material is Class A fire rating on its own. You would have to create a Class A system. So there's a product called MB Technologies TU43, which is a 43-pound base sheet. That would be installed on your plywood deck, and our product would be installed on top of that. If you do not have a plywood deck, if it's a space sheeting, you cannot install our product. You do have to have a solid deck, a plywood deck.
Okay. In some of the old homes, we don't have plywood. So meaning your product will require the replacement of new plywood.
Yes.
And the underlayment, and then your product, right?
A lot of the older homes have like butted up 4x8s. That would be considered a solid deck. So we just consider not space sheeting. You cannot install our product over space sheeting.
Okay. And your product, the actual tile itself, is it a nail-on?
Yes.
Method?
Nail-on. Single tile nail-on.
Okay. Are the nail holes already predetermined, or they nailed it wherever they want to nail it?
Oh no, they're predetermined.
They already got nail holes in there.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They have arrows which dictate where to put your nail holes.
Okay. And the etching, are they staggered, even? How is your manufacturer's recommendation?
On the shakes that you have, we have 6, 7, and 8 inch exposures, so you can stagger up to 2 inches.
Up to 2 inches? Did I
Yes.
hear correctly? 1 inch, 2 inches.
2 inches from a 6/8 is from a 6 inch exposure to an 8 inch exposure.
And is that your recommendation?
Depends on the look,
manufacturer's recommendation.
depends on the look of the house. It is when you do stagger, you are using approximately 12% more material, so it is a little more expensive. Labor is probably a little more expensive, and it depends on the look of the house, what you're looking for. We love it either way.
So they could be even, or they could be staggered up to 2 inches.
Yes.
Okay.
I never recommend a full 2-inch stagger. If you're going to stagger, you would probably want to go at the maximum 1 inch. So probably between 1/2 and 1 inch, more realistic. 2-inch stagger is a little dramatic.
And if you use a 1-inch stagger, what is the cost differential?
Probably about 8% difference. And that's just of more material.
And could I ask about the availability currently in Southern California for this material?
3 weeks.
3 weeks?
3 weeks.
What does that mean? You mean
3-week lead time? Is that what you're saying?
3-week lead time.
what?
Is that what you mean?
Lead
Lead
time.
time. Like
So
what-
it's not in stock in
No,
roofing supply.
no. Synthetics are usually not stocked. They're too expensive for a roofing yard to stock them and wait for someone to buy them, unlike shingles, which move a lot quicker. Synthetics usually are made per job. But we're only out 2 to 3 weeks right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, you make them after you got the order?
Right. They're
So-
custom made.
It's custom made. I see.
Or made
Made
upon
to
order.
Yeah.
Made to
Alright.
order. Yes.
And can those be I mean, which I guess when I was referring to availability, how many roofing supply companies will have a relationship with you that they will order from you?
All major roofing supplies, ABC, Beacon, SRS, JB, all major roofing supplies order our product.
One more question on pricing. How are they pricing towards Real Shake Roof and or your competitors? What level are you in? Would you
We're
on
in
the
the-
high side, medium, low?
We're in the same range as Da Vinci. Real Shake deviates so much, but we have stable pricing. We're about the same price as Da Vinci.
If you are you not in the same manufacturer with Da Vinci? How
No,
are you
no.
compare with them?
Is a Da Vinci guy on the line there?
Not yet. I'll ask him the same
I
question.
personally feel that we're much more realistic looking. The Da Vinci is a very flat looking synthetic roof. We're much more realistic. We have a lot, our dies were cut with a lot more grooves, and it looked like an aged shake roof. The Da Vinci will look like a new shake roof. It's flat. Ours will look more realistic.
Would you say that the actual material itself are similar or the same with them?
It's close to the same of the resins. Ours does have a recycled product in it, which no one else does.
Got it. Okay.
I have a question about the coloring. So a lot of times, even if it's not an undesirable change, there is some kind of a change in the color. Perhaps after 15 years, for example, sometimes there's a little what do you call it? A patina. Is there anything like that that you've noticed on the homes that have been installed maybe 10 or 15 years, or even 5, 10, 15 years?
Nothing. We do studies where we have roofs that are 15 years old, and every few years they will go up and compare to a new piece, and there's no movement in color at all.
Where are you doing the bulk of your business? How much business are you doing in Southern California? Because you said you're based in northern or in upstate New York. Of course, the weather factors are very different.
Very different. Most of our product is in Massachusetts, upstate New York, Connecticut, the high-end areas. We do a lot of slate in those areas. We have just recently come out to Southern California because we finally got, they don't do Title 24 up in the Northeast. So we finally got our Title 24 colors approved. That's why we're coming out here now.
Mm.
So how recent are you to Southern California? And just to answer my question, like how much business are you doing in Southern California?
Oh,
currently?
we're doing a lot of business in Southern California. I've been with a company for 2 years.
You're in LA, or where are
I'm
you?
in Orange County, Newport Beach.
Okay.
You mentioned the just going back to the type of application, you mentioned the staggering, and you said, well, it depends on what you want and what kind of home it is. For traditional architecture, which is what is predominantly found in our city, traditionals, Monterey colonials, not Spanish, most of that style, but Cape Cods, trying to think of the other styles. What would you recommend for these traditional types of architecture?
A very light stagger. So you're
Light
talking
stagger.
maybe a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch to make it look realistic. When you
Makes
do
sense.
the
Yeah.
2-inch stagger, no one gets that right. And it
Right.
just never looks realistic. A very minor stagger is what I recommend.
Thank you. That makes sense.
One more quick question. People want to walk on it or put solar panel on top of it. How does that work?
We have no problem with solar panels. We use the same solar stanchions as what's used on a asphalt shingle roof. Pretty much every system we utilize for solar panels, and it's fully walkable, 100% walkable product.
Okay. Your product itself, you said, if I hear you correctly, some pieces come in 3/8 of inch thick and some come in 3/4 of inch thick, right? So they're
That's
not
what-
uniform.
That's a blend that we have called the Aspen blend. And it comes in 3/8 and 3/4 inch to give it the variety of a real shake roof.
Right.
Mhm.
But is that what is in front of us? The Empire Shake? Is that how it looks like?
There's
It is the Empire Shake, and I think in the brochure,
We also have that sample specifically
Correct.
here.
I
Yeah.
guess what I want to understand is that if we were to, let's say, call it a P-approved acceptance on certain type, maybe we should understand what exact name that he's calling it.
Yeah.
do you have the
So
Aspen
that
blend
we would
sample?
have that different thickness look.
So are
So-
we looking at the Aspen blend?
Yes, this is the Aspen blend that
Okay.
you're looking at.
I see.
And is
You
that
see how it's different thicknesses?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are they all the same
Right.
color?
So
Aspen
this
blend.
is this specific color.
What is that color called?
That's
Hampton
the
Harbor,
Aspen blend.
No.
The
No,
color's
the
Aspen.
No.
Aspen
no.
blend is the profile. I think that color is Hampton Harbor.
Is it
And we're looking,
driftwood?
So
I'm
this is called Aspen blend because it uses different thicknesses of shake. Is that correct?
Exactly.
right. It's not the
Exactly.
relating to
Okay.
the color.
There's a variation
Right.
of thickness.
Right.
It is the
which
Empire
would
Shake.
be also found.
Yeah,
on
Empire Shake
real
is
shake.
the product name.
So can I ask is the Aspen blend method of application, which would seem to maybe be the most realistic, could that be applied with that slight stagger that you're talking about? And would that be the
Definitely.
most realistic application in terms of imitating real wood shake, or is it something else?
No, you're exactly right. Slight stagger. You're going to be using 6, 9, and 12-inch widths, and you're going to use the 2 thicknesses. And those 2 thicknesses are blended within the bundle. So the roofer does not have to guess and go from one side of the roof to get another bundle. It's all within the bundle. So yes, you're exactly right. A minor stagger with the Aspen blend is probably going to be the most realistic shake, synthetic look you're going to get.
I mean, you said 6, 9, and 12-inch widths.
Yes.
That seems like a pretty big variation in widths for one roof.
That's about the norm when it comes to real shake.
Okay, thank you.
Will we be able to get the exact name, product recommendation, the stagger, the type and color that you would recommend to us, and so we know exactly if we were going to accept it? I want to make sure that it's all clear.
We can
Okay.
bring it, well, yeah, once we get better direction today, we can
Okay.
provide a clear document that outlines everything, all those specifications for you.
Absolutely, because I am sure you understand why we're doing this. We want to make sure that we'll find the qualified products to put on our pre-approved list, so that it help the residents of what to buy or what to put into it, their homes, based on the architecture value. But so many manufacturers, so many different type and so many different variations, it make it very confusing. And the roofers, again, is not the same every time they come in. So I would definitely need your help to give us the correct product, model, type, shape, staggering, thickness, and all of that. Would that
It would be my
be
pleasure.
possible?
I think all of that, if I understood correctly, is encompassed in the Alpine blend. Is that correct or not correct?
Well, what I'm recommending is, and here we have to find out, are you doing, so we can pick the correct color, you have to let me know about the Title 24 requirements. That's gonna deviate which colors you can use. What I would recommend is the Aspen blend with a 1/2 to a 3/4 inch stagger.
So your material says Aspen blend refers only to a mixture of 2/3 Empire Shake and 1/3 Empire Shake Plus.
Yes.
Got it.
And we're going to discuss colors in a different phase.
Okay,
correct?
yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So do we have any other questions?
Can I
regarding this
clarify?
product?
I have a question. When I'm looking at the supplemental packet that we received, they talk about in the EcoStar, there's a Niagara Shake. That's also part of the Empire line. They're all
It
under
is.
Empire.
That's part of the Empire line. Yeah, that's Class A fire rated. The Empire Shake is only 3/8 inch, so it's a flatter looking product. That's why I recommended the Aspen blend. It mixes our Empire Shake with what's called our Empire Shake Plus, which is a 3/4 inch, which is a very thick shake.
And we're not
mixing
looking
them
at
together
Empire
gets most
Plus.
realistic look.
This explains the
blend, right?
Aspen blend.
But on its own, we're not looking at.
You're asking if we should be looking also at purely just the Aspen Plus
Yes. Is there a
on
reason
its
that we're
own,
not
as
looking?
opposed to mixing it with the.
Is there a reason
the
that we're not
flatter?
looking at just the Plus?
As I understand it, it's based on just what I heard. It's the effort to make it look a little bit more natural, because real wood shake does have a variety of thicknesses. It's not always like perfect, but I'm not advocating for anything here. I'm just trying to answer your question.
Sounds like you are.
Could you
You're
go
doing a
ahead
great
and
job.
explain to me, we're not looking at the Plus because it doesn't look as realistic?
That's
that
only
correct?
the Plus is only 3/4 inch product. It's all one size. That's
Okay.
why I'm promoting the Aspen. It looks more realistic. Looks more like a aged shake roof.
Okay.
I think that's all we're trying to achieve, is trying to
Yeah.
find a substitute
Right.
Yeah.
that looks like a age shake roof.
Right.
And if we
Right.
can
Sure.
find something, we should concentrate on that. Don't try to blend it with other things that looks kind of simulated.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
we can
sometimes
try to
it's
find
too
something that's
uniform.
as closely simulated to the shake look as we can.
Can we pass around the one that we're talking around, the one that we're talking about right now? Just
I think we
because-
have one, we can pass them around, we can feel
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
touch and feel.
Camelia? Is it possible to pass around to the
Can
committee
we
the
feel it
Aspen
and touch
blend?
it? Yeah,
The Aspen.
the one that
blend?
he's talking about.
Eric, the Aspen
can you-
blend, could the
yeah,
committee?
Can you
could the
pass it to
committee-
us so we can touch and feel?
I'm
And
not
color
really
we
sure.
can
I didn't really look
look
at
at
it.
But it's a
different.
different phase.
We're not looking at the color.
It
No,
says-
no color right
it-
here.
Just
Just
the
looking
feel,
at
the
the
look,
label.
It
thickness,
doesn't
thinness,
say
and
plus,
how it looks like.
but we should clarify that because
Meaning that how close is this to a real shake roof?
These are not staggered at all.
They're not staggered.
right.
So for the committee, after phase one, we're going to narrow what we're looking at. We're not going to, I mean, only the materials that we want to continue to consider will go into colors in
Okay.
phase two.
That's the
Yeah,
different
yeah.
thickness, and I think that's good.
So
If
this
we
is different
stagger it,
thickness,
it
but
won't allow-
not staggered.
Right.
Pardon?
Okay. I just want to clarify that the sample we have
Not
shows the
staggered.
different thicknesses, but not not staggered at
Not
all.
staggered.
So it's kind
Right.
of
To look even
lines.
up and down a little
Right.
bit,
Mhm.
and then with
Right.
the correct color, I think will be good. I think
Okay.
this will work. If we meet Title 24, correct color and stagger. That's why I asked the manufacturer to help us to understand what would be the best thing so that we can achieve our look.
Yeah.
Any other questions relating to EcoStar?
Yes, this is it's very nice.
It's-
Yeah.
I have a question. So do we have any plus samples here?
No,
They're mixed in with that, I think. They're mixed in with this, the sample of the Aspen blend, correct?
they are, but
mixed in.
we do sell it separately. We do sell all 3/4 inch. But it is, like I said, it's still a flat looking roof, but there is, plus is in there. It's the thicker pieces.
Right, but I guess I'm just trying to understand. So is there a choice that we should consider that it's all just plus, all one thickness?
Yeah, our Empire Shake Plus is all 3/4 inch.
For example, the Niagara.
Yeah, the Niagara Shake Plus is 3/4 inch. The Niagara Shake is 3/8 inch. The Aspen Blend is the variety of both.
Right, okay.
The only thing that about this sample, I don't know if we're discussing now at all. Like, I guess we're kind
I
of.
think, well, we are going to have committee discussion, but first,
Oh.
this is almost like this is
Okay,
like a
okay. I
presentation,
will-
so.
yeah.
But let's ask our questions of this.
I was
individual.
just gonna say that I personally, it may be different in other places, but I personally don't see such a wide variation between a 6-inch real wood shake and a 12-inch. I just don't see that applied here in San Marino. To my memory, I've never seen such a big difference, so I just want to put that out there.
We can do a custom Aspen Blend, all one size if you like.
Or 6 and 9 maybe, but
Yeah,
12 is
we do a lot of
unusual.
we do a lot of custom roofing. So we can customize whatever you guys like and make it the San Marino blend.
And the cost is what? What kind of premium is there?
No, it's not gonna be much more.
Enterprise. Do we have any
mean,
other questions on EcoStar?
It seems maybe worth looking, personally at the, also looking at the 3/4 inch just by itself.
Okay.
I mean, I think that the different thicknesses is also interesting, but I personally would love to see both of them.
I can get
Let's
samples
see.
for you
I
on the
think-
3/4 inch.
And that's definitely for our discussion, because we're not going to move forward with phase two except if we're
Correct.
interested in the product. And so it sounds like there is interest in the.
So if
product.
Yes,
uniform.
I'm interested in this
3/4
product for sure.
Yes, yeah.
Just one quick question, one more question. If you use this uniform 3/4 inch thickness, do you still recommend have some stagger in the bottom?
I always
make it-
recommend a minor stagger because that's what
A minus
if you look at a
stagger will
real
look
shake
more
look,
natural,
yes, it's
Yeah.
much more natural.
especially with the uniform thickness. All right,
Yes.
Mhm.
that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions regarding EcoStar? We have 7 more items, 7 more, but you know, I want to just keep that in mind. No, no other
Are we
questions?
voting
Good.
whether we move forward with this or
I thought we would move forward after we see all 8,
Yeah, we'll make a vote for phase 1 after.
after we see all 8.
Yeah.
okay? it
Just
could
keep, that's
get-
why,
it
just
could
keep your
get diffi-
notes,
it
keep
we
your
could get-
notes.
It could get
Are we
Just
doing
keep
all
your
f-
notes.
All 4 phases? We're not voting on all 4 tonight. Yes.
We were trying to, but we'll see how far we get. Yeah. That was the goal. It's an
I was just
ambitious
thinking it
goal.
might be,
Slow start.
it perhaps could be easier to vote on these
Will be a good
one by
call.
one as we go through them because it could get.
I think we should wait for the
Oh,
8
okay,
so that we can
okay.
compare and contrast.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay,
Okay.
I'll just make a note.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if there's no further comment for the representative, we'll put him back as an attendee and call up the next item.
Please. Thank
So
you.
then, so the second item is EnviroShake. If you can unmute Brad for us, Savak, please, or ask him to unmute.
Brad, if you can accept the invite
thank
to be a
you.
panelist, it'll give you an opportunity to share your video and speak to the committee. You may begin when
There
you're
we
ready.
go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, perfect. There we go. Okay. So I'm just on my iPad here. All right. So EnviroShake, we've been around since 1998. We are a very unique product in this field. We call ourselves a composite product. Some of the other products will call themselves synthetics. We call ourselves a composite because of our process and our formula. We're 98% recycled content. That's post-industrial plastic and rubber. We also have some wood fibers in there. And we have a lot of different options for you when it comes to Title 24, when it comes to the Class A factor. If you want to just hit me with your questions, I was just listening to the last presentation. And so if you want to ask all those similar questions, we can. And I can answer
Yes.
from there.
If you heard what was being asked before, it would be great if you would address those things.
Awesome.
Started
Yeah.
with- I guess starting from the installation.
Okay.
The underlayment, the roof decking requirement, and your recommended installation. If you can just quickly walk us through, because we're going to be asked the same question by the roofer and or the residents.
Definitely. Okay. So on installation, you got a couple different options. You can go direct to deck, and you can also use the batten, the skip sheathing. You just need to have a 10-inch center for your skip sheathing. I always recommend any contractor, they want to take a look at that deck and make sure the deck is in good and clean and good condition, no matter what product you're putting on there. But you can go both ways. Installation is 4 1.5-inch stainless steel nails, ring shake nails, and they would be used with an air gun. So just like they would install an asphalt product, they would use 4 nails. There is 4 circles on each. I know you guys got a sample in front of you. I keep a sample here beside me. So you got these circles here. So it's already predetermined where they're going to be installed. So that's around that 10-inch mark. And then you have a 9-inch exposure traditionally. You can change that exposure and go down all the way to 5 inches if you want. Then, of course, you would have a whole lot more material, however, going that route. We do make custom caps as well. So the hips and ridge will have different pitches. So we make a custom cap. I don't have an example of that, but we fold them already to fit that pitch. And then they're going to use 2 screws for those caps. In regards to the Class A product, Class A, you have 2 options with EnviroShake. That's the nice thing with our formula. You have just like EcoStar said, with the Class A underlayment, you have a Class A fire rated system. We also have a Class A underlayment ourselves. We co-brand with a product called Komodo. We also have a Class A standalone material as well. So that formula has been tested and passed to be Class A all on its own, no matter what underlayment that you would be using. You have your Title 24. Our traditional colors for Title 24 are the tropical silver and silver cedar. Those standard colors pass for a cool roof, but we also have a cool roof formula. Once again, that kind of comes to the way that everything is manufactured with our product, because everything gets combined together. The color and all the different UV inhibitors that we put in the product, everything is mixed in. As you can see with those samples, you can scratch it, you can hit it with a hammer, you can do what you want to it. The color is going to stay the same. Nothing is topical. So everything is embedded in that product. So we have an EnviroCool formula specifically. So you can use any of our colors, our darker colors, and still get like our brown. Our aged cedar brown is very popular because it's that weathered wood shake, which I assume you have one of those from what you're looking at there. And so that can be done in EnviroCool with our EnviroCool formula. I'm trying to think of for
Wait,
you guys
can
mentioned
I ask you, when you're talking about EnviroCool, I don't know if that's like your own kind of buzzword. Is that a Title 24 thing? Like, what
that
are
is
we
a
talking about?
Yeah, so that's a formula, and that's a Title 24 thing. So what that is we can use that formula. They have different additives that they can add to the material. And it all comes down to the manufacturing process, the way we do ours. And so that will get you Title 24 cool roof with the aged cedar that you see there. And then all of our lighter colors are already Title 24.
Okay, thanks.
I remember you guys mentioned about lead times. We fluctuate because we are the same way where we're kind of made to order. Right now we're at like a 4 to 6 week lead time. We are shipping directly from the plant. We do sell through distribution, but we also will sell direct to the contractor and homeowner. And I think that's kind of hits on everything you guys were asking.
We were also asking about the history of the company. How much business are you doing in Southern California? How long have you been around?
History is since 1998. So the product was developed at the University of Guelph in 1998, and it has been on the market since then. In Southern California, I can say that we do about $1 million in Southern California. Very popular. We've really grown over the past couple of years. Our biggest market actually is the Caribbean. We are very popular in the Caribbean because we have 180 mile per hour wind rating and class 4 hail. I don't have to worry about hail in California, but 180 mile per hour wind rating, so that's class 5 hurricane. And they also like it because of our cool formula. We've had many Caribbean homeowners mention that they've seen a cost savings of like 30% in their energy cost savings, which is very important down there because that's where they get hit the most is with their energy.
So, so you're just doing $1 million a year in all of Southern California?
That is true. Yes, $1 million in all of Southern California because of our direct selling model. That is the growth that we've had.
And the warranty?
Warranty is 50 years. 50.
What is this? This is EnviroShake. EnviroShake.
And this particular product that we're looking at tonight has been in the market for how long?
Since 1998.
Well, you said the company's been around since 1998. This material has?
Yes, that material has, yes.
Okay.
The EnviroCool, so that formula has been around, I'd say since 2016. But other than that, the product has been sold throughout the world since 98.
So you heard the previous presentation and the particular recommendations and effort to make it look as realistic as possible. What is your recommendation here?
So when you guys are contemplating different things to approve, I would say the most popular color for us is aged cedar because it's that weathered brown shake look. And then as for the staggered, I do agree that the staggered look is a very rustic and beautiful look. So a lot of people do go that route, but but for a city that is recommending products, you don't have to recommend cedar, I guess, with our product, because that the homeowners can do that as an option. I guess you could leave that as an option, because all they're doing is changing the exposure with our product, right? It's not coming down to thickness. Like, our dies are our dies. Each tile, like you see there, is 20 inches tall, 12 inches wide. We have the different splits, 6.6 full tile, 5.7, 7.5. So you get a variation look, but the die is the die. They're all 12 inches wide and 20 inches tall. So when they install it, they're either going to do a 9-inch exposure straight across, or they're going to change that exposure 9 and 8 and 7, depending on what the homeowner wants.
I didn't understand really what you were trying to say, but maybe I didn't really understand what you were referring to some numbers like 5.775 and exposures, and I didn't really understand them.
Okay, no, that's no problem. So with the samples that you have there, and if you guys can see, so what I'm holding up is a full tile. There's no line down the middle or on the sides. You might see some that have
Right.
we call
Like
it a
this?
keyway. Yeah.
Is that what this is?
Yeah. So that keyway,
Okay.
we have variations in them. So some will have one down the middle. Some will just be a full
Yes.
tile like this. Some will have one here and one here, so that when it's being installed, it just doesn't look like a straight line across, right? You get a random look. And it
I
also
see.
allows
Okay.
They come
the
random ones.
contractor,
Right.
when they're installing, can cut that and snap it. So if they need to use a smaller piece to start another row or finish a row, it's very versatile that
Oh,
way.
I see. So there's some variety in the look of the width.
With
They're not really different widths, but there is
Yeah.
a
Exactly.
sort of a looks like there's different widths. Yeah.
Can you
Okay,
talk-
and how I'm so sorry. I just wanted to ask, how thick are these? I don't think we
Those are
discussed that.
3/4 inch thick.
It's 3/4 inch. Okay.
uniform 3/4, right?
Uniform. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you go back a little bit, clarify? So are you recommending staggering, or these are staggering is not appropriate?
I would recommend both options, because every homeowner is going to be different, right? Some are going, you get that realistic shake look with the product, but I think if you leave it open for them to choose to go staggered or to choose to just go with a 9-inch exposure, they're going to get the realistic look either way. Because when you stagger, then you do need to order more material, because you're covering more of a roof space. The other thing that I should say that stands out with our product will weather naturally. So we will end up with a matte finish with our product. So it does lighten up and get a matte finish to it, instead of just having that plastic look for its entire life. So it'll act like the natural wood would in real life.
So the sample is very, I don't know that I would say glossy, but it's certainly not matte.
Glossy,
It's
yeah.
very shiny. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So how long will it take for this? How long
3
does
to
it take in your
6
experience?
3 to 6 months. And we have a
3
weathering
to 6
wall.
months.
Yes. So we have a weathering wall, and we do that. We put product out there for 3 to 6 months, and I can send you some weathered samples. It would, if those were weathered, it's hard to tell from what I see there. It would have a check mark on the sticker there, would tell you if it was weathered or not.
On this, there is no check mark on the sticker that says weathered.
Okay, there you go.
But we also have this.
No,
kind
that's just a small board. That won't be weathered.
Okay.
That's just showing silver cedar and age cedar.
So you said you're only doing 1 million a
these
year
are
in
the
Southern
same.
California, and you do a lot of business in the Caribbean, where not every island, but most of them have much more humidity than we do
Correct.
here. Much so, what is your sense of how the harsh sun in California weathers this?
Well,
How it
I would
withstands it?
it withstands it very well based on my experience. I've been with Embarrassed Shake for about 9 years now, and all my installs have held up very well in my 9 years. And I have a list of show homes of installs since 2007 that I can date back. And so as far as I understand, there has been no issues that way. as well with our UV inhibitors. So with that formula, to kind of paint the picture of the way the product is made, you have it's a dough process. So you have your polymers and your elastomers, and then you have your color, and we put UV inhibitors in there. There's a fungicide like for moss and mildew inhibitor in there, and everything is embedded in there. So that UV inhibitor is acting like sunblock, but it's embedded in the product. So when those UV rays hit it, it helps bounce off. And that has nothing to do even with the SRI factor. That's just something that we've put in the product since 2008.
So you haven't seen any issues with brittleness or cracking or anything?
Nope.
They've been around since 1998. Is that what I understand?
Walk on it
Correct.
and or
Is that what
solar
you're
panel installation. Any issue with that?
No issue with that. You can install with solar panels, and you can walk on it. It will be slippery if it's wet, but other than that, you can walk on it. You're not going to damage the product at all, because it can handle anything.
How you said 3 to 6 months to weather out to be a little more like a matte finish.
Correct.
How would that continue to weather under the California sun? Have you had any long history of your product being installed in Southern California?
Yes, the oldest that I can date back, because the current ownership had started around 2007. So I can go back to 2007 and say that that is as far as EnviroShake has been installed in Southern California without any issues or color variants.
Okay. So it'll hold up. It will not continue to fade away and change color completely, will you?
Yeah,
No.
that didn't really answer Committee Member Chang's question. I
No,
mean, it
it's-
holds up, but how does the appearance change?
So that's why I kind of paint the picture with that matte finish, where you see that gloss that you have there. So that gloss goes away, but the color is not going away. The color is staying true.
I have a question about these two samples in front of us. They look almost the same, but I'm just trying to figure out what's the difference. So in this kind of this kind
Yeah,
of so this says it says aged cedar EnviroShake and silvered cedar EnviroShake. How is that different, or is it different than this?
So the big tile you have, I assume, is an aged cedar based on what I can see from the color there.
Yes, it is. It
and-
is checkmarked aged cedar.
So all
And
it
then-
is we cut the bottom of shakes to make those little booklets, just to kind of give you the two most popular color options. We can do any
Oh,
custom
these are
color.
different colors. These are
Yeah.
two different colors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
they're
the
slightly
one,
different.
Oh, it could be just the light in here, but I don't see. Okay, thank you.
for
I
me,
just-
when you flip it, it's on my right, and I could tell that one's a little bit lighter. I don't know. That'd be
Okay,
your right. Dave.
yeah. So this is all one product with one name. It's just that we're looking at between these two samples, we're looking at two different colors. One color on the big one and two colors on this one.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And we can do multiple colors. Some people do a multi-tone where they do both of those colors on the same roof, which gives a real variation look to the color.
Mhm.
And we also have slate profiles as well.
I have another question. You seemed to be like a little bit sort of well, I don't want to say this exactly in that way, but you seem to really want to give the option of staggering or not staggering. Is
Mhm.
there any, if a slight stagger makes it look a little bit more real, like real wood shake, is there any reason not to do it on a
No.
traditional, on a home with traditional styles of architecture?
No, I don't. I don't see that. What the reason why I'm stating that is because I deal a lot with homeowners. We get a lot of homeowners interest, and when speaking with a homeowner, They're always kind of battling back and forth. Do we want to spend a little bit extra money on the staggered? So it's kind of nice to leave it open for them to choose. Do they still get the beauty, realistic look of Cedar Shake, but do they want to spend a little bit extra on the staggered look, or do they just want to stay with a standard 9-inch exposure?
Okay, so what I understand is it's a cost issue.
Yeah.
And if cost was not an issue, is there any other reason? I mean, in terms of a
No,
realistic
if
look?
I was doing my own home, I would go with a staggered look because it just has a real rustic look.
Would it be this also like this half inch or a quarter inch? I forget what we were talking about. We were talking before about a half inch to 3/4 inch stagger. Is that what you would do?
So the way we do it, we just go up and down by an inch. So you do like a 9-inch or an 8-inch changing.
So
the
within
quarter
an
inch.
inch stagger, 1 inch
Within an
stagger.
inch.
is
Up
the
Yeah,
to,
we do
maximum.
up
an
to
inch.
1 inch stagger. Is that what I
Yeah,
understand?
that's what he's talking about.
Or is
Within
it
1
just
inch.
1 inch?
1-inch stagger. So you'd have 9-inch and an 8-inch, and you do a variation, right? You wouldn't just do
Okay.
the same thing all along.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. One more quick question on cost. Are you familiar with Da Vinci tile?
Yes.
How are you compared to them?
We are all pretty much being installed for the same price. The Da Vinci's, the EcoStars, the EnviroShakes, all the products in the synthetic composite market, we're all installed around the same price point.
About the same price point, you said?
Same,
Yes,
in the
correct.
same price point
Please
as
go, okay.
EcoStar and Da Vinci.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Any other
And within
questions?
with installs, even so many variations, and contractors would say that, right? If depending on pitches and all that stuff changes everything.
But the material cost, you would say they pretty much the same material cost.
Correct.
Point.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Can I ask? Is there any advantages? Do you have an advantage over Da Vinci?
So for me, it's all about our formula that really separates us. In that weathering process, I see it as a huge advantage because it's so realistic to the natural product. And with our formula, the other synthetics being polymer injected, the way our process is made, like I explained with the dough and the compression dyes, and you have all that color embedded, everything is embedded, right? You, like I said, you take the other samples, scratch them and do whatever, but ours, you can put them through a weather test and it will withstand everything. So I feel that our product can withstand anything that Mother Nature throws at it and ends up looking more realistic in the long run.
Thank you. Any other questions on EnviroShake? We can move on to the next manufacturer. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
So for item number 3 is the DECRA manufacturer, specifically the Shake XD model, which we have here. There is no representative as they're not able to attend tonight's meeting. So we can come back to this discussion. The number 4, number 5, the reason they're on this list is because they are new to the pre-approved list, although the design review committee has approved the Solaris versions of the Certainty models in the past. There is no representative for the 4 and 5. For number 6 and number 7, it's the same manufacturer, the GIF, and then the model the same of the Grand Sequoia, with the difference being the reflector series and the non-reflector series, the Title 24 model. We're gonna have a representative. If I can ask anybody on Zoom, they may not be in attendance anymore, but if anybody on Zoom is representing GIF, can you please use the raise hand feature or chat with us to let us know? I'm currently under the impression we do not have a representative. We'll wait a minute. I do not believe the representative was able to make it tonight, it seems. So we can still have a discussion on that product, but to move on to the representative that is here, which is the last item for number 8, the Owens Corning, and specifically the Woodmore model. If you'd like to come to the dais and speak on behalf, we'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Hello.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, everybody. Thanks for having me here. My name is Rolando. I'm the local representative for Owens Corning. Been with the company for 7 years, and I'm here to answer any questions you might have on our products.
Is it possible to just do a little mini presentation for us on some of the questions that you've heard us ask, both of the previous manufacturers, your history with the company, your history in Southern California, installation,
Sure.
all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the company started in 1938, right? We invented fiberglass back then. So yeah, anything behind fiberglass, we're pretty much involved in it. The product itself is actually manufactured in Compton, California. So we're locally sourced. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the actual fabrication of shingles, but the main components is fiberglass and the actual asphalt, right? So one of the cool things about Owens Corning is that we invented fiberglass, right? In which we actually supply fiberglass to vast manufacturers in the roofing industry. But we also manufacture our own asphalt as well. So a lot of other manufacturers who, manufacture shingle or other roofing products made out of asphalt, they're outsourced their asphalt, but we make it in-house, right? Which is pretty, cool thing that we have. One of the things that I guess separates us is going to be, we do, like I said, we do make it out of Compton, right? We have the raw materials, we're vertically integrated in which we make it ourselves. And we're pretty much the favored brand amongst a lot of roofing contractors across the country, right? So we have 13 plants across the country. We make all the product for California, Arizona, and Nevada based out of Compton, California. And we have our Woodcrest Woodmore line, but we also, manufacture the other architectural shingles that you see, a lot of roofs, in different, cities, neighborhoods in California.
So speaking to Woodmore, which is what we're considering tonight, how much business do you do in California or Southern California, if you know?
Probably if I was to estimate, around 200 homes, 300 homes a year in Southern California for Woodcrest Woodmore. I would say we have a 50-50 split in both lines. Something like that.
So of all your product lines, would you say Woodmore to be one of your highest level lines?
It is the highest, yes.
And the thickness of that, we've been using a lot of this certain TL model, which is triple layer, the 3 layers.
Correct.
How is that Woodmore comparing to that, and how many layers? How does it work?
Yeah,
you come in with 1 layer on top of the other layer, and is that
it's a dual layer product, right? We don't necessarily have a triple layer, right? It's a dual layer product, but what we do is we add the asphalt to give you the thickness appearance that of asphalt. But in regards of weight and thickness, right, it's going to be comparable to presidential TL. Yeah.
And the actual installation method,
yeah,
how is that 1 layer go on top of the other layer? Is it hot mop, cold joint, torch? How does that work?
Nails, right? Just how you
Mainly
typically
nails.
install a shingle, yeah. So that is where our advantage is when it comes to our product compared to our competition. So you could have a pattern of either a 5-5 offset, 5 inches by 5 inches offset, or you could have a stagger of 5 inches by 15 inches offset, which is what you would need for the presidential, right? Whereas, we make it easier for the installer to install it in that fashion, right? So you won't get confused as you're laying down the lines, right? On the presidential, for example, I've heard many contractors complain that sometimes they lose, where they're at, whether if they're in the 15-inch, layer or the 5-inch layer. So they're kind of losing a little bit on the installation, whereas we provide you the installation of either 5.5 offset or 5.15. The other thing is that you just need one single starter strip, whereas in competition requires a dual starter strip, right? We could go either right to left or left to right. Competition needs to go from left to right. So, we make it easier for the installer, which is, why more and more people are starting to use a little bit more of our product.
What is the thickness of the shingle?
The actual thickness, I would say it's approximately, probably 1/4 of an inch. I would have to, take out the measuring tape to let you know, but it's something around, you can see it right here.
1/4 of an inch? Okay.
Yeah, see it right here.
Yep.
Now, when you group them together, it's gonna be more.
Yeah, I see that they stack.
Yeah, when you stack them, it's gonna be more. But what the actual just one shingle is that thickness.
So, but the shape of the shingle that you sharing, do they come uniform or they come random, or how does that work?
So it's
Just make sure to speak into the microphone.
oh, I see. Oh, it's wireless. Okay, good. No, it comes in 39-inch long strip.
Mhm.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Okay.
39-inch long strip, right? And so it's a 4-inch exposure that we have on the product. And you would just stagger them typically how you would stagger a presidential product. So nothing too different. There's notches that we would put on the headlamp that an installer would follow to allow you to stagger them the right way.
But the notches are uniformly notched out of that whole stretch, or they random?
So the cuts are, I mean, there's a pattern in it, but it looks like it's random as you stagger them across the roof. Does that make sense, kind of?
So the piece that come in, you said 49 inches?
39.
39 inches.
Yes.
So you basically butt the next one up
Yes.
against it.
Yes, that's
But
correct.
the notches within the 39 inches, are they pretty uniform? Every piece looks the
No,
same?
they're gonna be different. The cut is gonna be different.
The notches are different.
Yes,
So
yeah.
when you
Now
lay
it's
them,
gonna be
they don't look.
right. They
same
don't.
cut.
There's a pattern when we fabricate it, right? But as you're laying them on the roof, you're not gonna have that pattern show up in a way. They are gonna look different. And I think it's don't quote me on it, but it's around, every 80 feet is where you're gonna start the pattern again.
To repeat.
Yes. So as you're laying them, you're not gonna necessarily see. It's gonna look more of a staggered look.
And that's the thickest product that you guys make.
Correct.
That's the top of the line, so to speak.
Yes. Yes.
How-
And we
how
do
is-
have 3 cool colors in our line as well. Night Sky, Mountainside, and Sandcastle. We have decided to not produce 2 colors that are Title 24, but we still make the other 3, which is this one, and Night Sky.
Any issue with solar? Any issue with walking on it?
No, not at all.
So I think this committee is fairly familiar with seeing presidential TL and landmark TL installed on houses locally. How would you can you just go over how you would differentiate your product from those?
Yeah,
I
it's
know you
gonna-
kind of addressed that a little bit before, but I
Yeah.
just want to understand in detail what's different.
I mean, presidential, people are used to hearing the name, right? So, they do have the fair line of share, right? But what's going to make us different is going to be the installation piece, right? We're going to make it easier
Right,
on the installer
right.
to install our product, and the fact that we manufacture all the raw materials, right? We invented fiberglass, right? The main component of a shingle is fiberglass, and we make it ourselves. And then we also make our own asphalt as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are going to be what's going to kind of separate us from everybody else.
The ease of installation, the flexibility of installation, is that what I understood? So in terms of how it looks on a house, how would you say that your product looks different from those 2 other products that are somewhat similar?
It's gonna be it's gonna be similar. What we kind of have, not sure if you notice, we don't have that many waves at the bottom of the shingle as our competition does. So I'm not saying it's a perfect straight cut, right? Because we don't want it that way, but we don't have as much of a pronounced wave like our competition does. So in regards of look, it's going to have a similar exposure as presidential. Presidential's is 4-inch exposure, just like ours, right? So it looks very close. Our contractors, even some contractors say that you can't really tell them apart when you have them, side by side.
And
What's,
co-
oh,
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to follow on that in terms of the price point.
Yeah, very similar, if not
Well, very similar. I mean,
to presidential TL.
not higher, not lower, just right
Correct.
there.
Right.
TL.
Yes.
Did you talk about lead time availability?
So we are right now, we're selling what we have in inventory when it comes to Woodcrest Woodmore. We just became slim on the availability or on what we have on the ground. But we are probably going to restart manufacturing sometime in the first quarter of next year. We are obviously running more of our regular duration architectural shingles. So availability at this moment depends on the color, but we're gonna, have a good amount of inventory first, month, maybe February of next year, 2024.
So the lead time could be months.
Yeah.
For now.
Yes, for now. Correct.
Is that
The lead
typical?
time could be, I don't know if we're
Yeah, so it's
understanding.
so we
Correct,
manu-
running out.
say that again.
Because they manufacture it ahead of time and now they're running through their inventory and they're
Right,
waiting
but
to
then there
produce.
wouldn't be a lead time. Then you have it in stock, then it would be immediately available.
When we make it, yeah, we're not gonna make it until probably January, February of 2024. And then when we make it, we'll make probably enough to hold us up for like 6,
Okay.
7 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the shortfall is really just for the remainder of the calendar year?
Correct.
Is this something that typically happens?
Typically happens right now since COVID, right? Are just material availability. Demand has just been, such an increase on roofing materials that material availability is kind of a struggle when it comes to asphalt shingle manufacturers. So it's a common theme across the industry.
But are you having trouble getting the materials to produce it?
Demand,
Or you can't keep up with the demand?
that's correct.
Okay.
Are you back to full production or you?
We've
not
been in
there
full
yet?
production this whole time. It's just the fact that, demand is super strong. So we just can't really keep up with the demand. Now, when we fabricate the product, we switch the lines at the facility, right? So it's not like we have our own facility for Woodcrest Woodmore, right? So we choose, what we want to fabricate. In this case, obviously, what we sell most of is the typical architectural shingle that you find everywhere. So
Not this one.
right, not this one at this moment.
So that's what I'm wondering, if the issue is because this is your highest level, your highest price point. So
So
the
wh-
focus of the manufacturers on your more standard level, is that right?
Our standard architectural shingle is what we
Best
sell.
seller.
Is what we sell more of, right? But we're gonna have obviously product available
Understand.
beginning of next year,
So I mean, your best seller is not this piece. Your best seller are the standard.
which is common across all
Correct. And
architectural
you're
or
gonna
all shingle
manufacture, you're
manufacturers.
gonna build
Yes.
more of those to sell. Because this is kind of
Right.
the top of the line thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Any other questions?
No, I think we got it.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate that.
We I did bring a sample of obviously Woodcrest Woodmore, which we have here. I also brought a sample of Duration Max, which is what Landmark TL's product is, right? It's very similar to that. So I'm not sure if that's something that you'll want to see.
Yes.
As
we do.
well?
Could you pass it?
Do we
Can
have
we
it?
take, can we
Is
take a
it
look?
something brand new you bought in?
So I don't know if you want me to.
Are they the same thickness?
Yes, as their TLs. So weight wise, it's gonna be a heavier product. That's our heaviest laminate that we make. It's 350 pounds per square. The competition will have it between 315 to 320 pounds per square. So we're gonna be slightly heavier, And then we add the granules behind the shingle to give you that appearance, the thickness appearance.
So is this heavier than the Woodmore?
No. But this is very comparable to your Landmark
That-
TL that you
Okay.
have here as your approved list.
And the price point is not as much as Woodmore?
No, it's going to be less. Yeah, I noticed that
No
the
special cut. That's the way it looks, right?
correct.
Yeah.
That's the way it looks. Yes.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question? Do you recommend this cut versus the other? How do you
In
differentiate?
regards of like our product to TL,
No, just the two different looks. This one, the duration versus your Woodmore, I believe.
yes.
They're both to duplicate to resemble a wood shake, right? So do you
Right.
have is there a time when you would recommend this one over that one?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's price point, right? I mean, one who wants, a little bit of a thicker product will go and steer towards that, right? I mean, I'm
Thicker?
sorry,
Oh.
a little bit of a lower price point, right? Will steer to that. If they want something thicker, they'll go more towards the Woodmore.
So as far as resembling a wood shake.
It
this
would be
one.
the Woodmore, absolutely, yes. Yeah, and then we have 5 cool colors as well under Duration Max line, as you can see listed on top of the sample board.
Mm.
And then a material availability is, that one's more available than the Woodmore because we sell more of that than the Woodmore.
Any other questions on Owens Corning?
The warranty?
So pretty much resembles all asphalt manufacturer warranties of a lifetime warranty, right, on residential buildings, where we cover any manufacturer defects for the life of the consumer who purchases the product.
Or 50 years?
Now, it's the standard warranty is a 10-year non-prorated warranty, and it starts downgrading thereafter, stays at 20% after year 40. There are extended warranties depending on the contractor that the consumer uses, in which those contractors have passed certain, requirements, right? Certain courses that they could offer a 50-year non-prorated warranty. So it all depends on the contractor that they're using. So we do
Sorry,
have those
understand
available.
it. Your material warranty is 10 years, right?
So that's what I was saying. Depending on the
10 years, your
contractor,
material
they
can
could,
deteriorate, and that's it.
the consumer could get a 50-year non-prorated warranty on the material.
If they
So
buy
What's
an
your-
extra one,
what's your
you're saying if they buy
standard-
an
what is
added
your
extension.
standard?
the standard will be a 10-year non-prorated warranty,
Mm.
right? And then it starts prorating thereafter.
But realistically, you really can't expect too much after 10 years from a asphalt shingle anyway. Would you say that would?
I mean, it all
you
depends.
guys
on
been
the-
around for a long time.
Yeah,
You
we've been a
know
while, yeah.
how soon they have to replace it because all these granules start losing, the sun beat on it, it start fading, and you
Yeah.
start disintegrating. So,
Typically, the thicker the shingle, the more it's gonna last.
okay. Appreciate that.
How long do you think the Woodmore will last? With the typical sun exposure?
Yeah, I mean, that's, I guess I could revert. I mean, ever since the shingle manufacturers went to a lifetime warranty, it's kind of hard to say, right? I could revert back to what was once before, which was a 30, 40, 50-year shingle 50, meaning the thicker product would last up to 50 years, right? So I mean, that's how we once had it before. Formulation hasn't necessarily changed, but the warranty has. So you could kind of make, infer that, it could last up to that. So,
It could last to 50 years,
right.
but most likely it's
No,
30?
It's kind of it's a
I mean, lifetime, whose lifetime?
right.
the consumer's lifetime. Yeah.
That's what
I like to know whose
So
lifetime.
yeah. So it's a lifetime warranty, right? Meaning that we would warranty the product for the life of the consumer. That's
And
how
does it
works.
transfer with the new owner?
It's a one-time transfer.
One-time transfer.
One-time transfer, yes.
Okay, thank
And
you.
that's how all asphalt manufacturer shingles or shingle manufacturers are. So
They're all like that.
yes, they're all like that.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Appreciate that for you. to
course.
Thank
showed
you.
up in person. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Associate Planner Martinez, how do you propose we consider items 3 through
Yeah.
7.
So our preferred way is to, I mean, it seems at this point, there's most likely going to be a follow-up meeting. So we are anticipating maybe the potential of this being a meeting where we can recommend to planning commission and move on in that sense. But if there's going to be further discussion with more models and
Yeah.
more materials, we would just like a direction of how you want us to come back.
So I still think your phasing is excellent. I mean, I'm wondering if we should recess maybe and look and take a
Sure.
look at, do we have samples from all the other ones present?
Yes, we
Okay.
do. We have all the samples, not all the colors, but all the samples.
Right.
And then, yeah, we can take a break. We can come back and then we can potentially, narrow down the products.
My idea would be that on phase 2, we're talking colors. So right now we're just talking products.
Yes.
And the vote would be which of the products on the phase 1 sheet, the 2-page phase 1 sheet we want
Yes.
to move forward with.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we would make a vote on which ones we want to move forward with.
Yes.
Okay. Shall we recess for,
Yes, Sherry, make the motion to recess.
okay.
Whatever time you feel is appropriate.
How many minutes does everybody want?
10.
10. Do you think 10 is fine? Okay, then I would move to recess for 10 minutes
So
to consider the other items and products.
so we'll return at 7:35.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that. But I'm just thinking out loud. If we were to, each individual of us would rate this thing, let's say from 0 to 10 on each product, I don't know whether that makes some sense for us to say that, well, this product, we should consider it or. we should
I'm
vote
thinking,
no.
I mean, tell me what you think, but I think that this could go on a long, long, long time if we don't say yay, like thumbs up, thumbs down on whether we want to move forward with the individual
Right.
products.
I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yes. Okay. And then the motion will be for the ones we want to move forward with. We'll just move that
Okay.
second, move and move on.
Fine.
Okay. Thank you.
10 minutes, right? Yeah. It's gonna be.
Any seconds?
Let me know when we're back on.
We can go ahead and start.
Okay. So I would just like to ask my fellow committee members if anybody has any questions for staff before we open this up for public comments. And then after public comments, we'll move on to committee member discussion. Are there any questions for staff, especially on the items that we don't have a presentation on, or no? Okay, seeing none, I'll open the item up for public comment. Does any member of the public wish to speak on this item? If so, please state your name and city of residence for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes.
I wonder about how you should get focused on these things. I'll read you a little something that a news item that came down about 1 week ago on a different subject. The Internal Revenue Service recently announced that it was overly focused on working class taxpayers, which are easier to audit, and that a sweeping historic effort to restore fairness in tax compliance will utilize Inflation Reduction Act funding to shift attention to high-income earners, partnerships, large corporations, and promoters. Audit rates for high-income earners dropped dramatically in recent years, and the IRS intends to use artificial intelligence and other new technologies to detect tax cheating, identifying emerging compliance threats, and improving case selection. So the IRS went off in the wrong direction. After us instead of the big boys. And that's what I'm wondering. I sometimes wonder why not approve all of these. They're all pretty good products from what I can tell. And let the public, just let each individual decide. Design review has been around since about for roofs and so forth, for roofs and some of the struck parts of the structure for just until 1992. So this whole town was built without design review. And so you start wondering, how much time should we spend on it? I think that my own feeling is that the best product out there, or my own thought, actually, not just feeling, is that stone-coated steel. I don't own any stock in it or anything of that sort. I have any monetary interest, but I think it lasts longer. It's lighter weight, and it looks good. So why not improve it and just let anybody install it that wants to? There might be some rules that there should be, but I just soon start getting rid of a lot of them. My opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Any other members of the public wish to speak on this agenda item?
Yeah, I'm Sam Lim. I live in San Marino for 30 years, something like that. So I just want to ask the committee to open up for more colors, particularly gray. I have a gray house that I need change because the roof is just cracking. It's not leaking, but I need to change it. So we need more, more choices. Gray in particular, please, because the cedar lights are all brown and it just doesn't match my other buildings in the property. So please, gray, and make my project easier, please, and not too costly. All these laws that you have and all these things here and that, sometimes it makes the property, the project more expensive than it should be. So please open for gray.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody else present who wishes to speak on this agenda item? Seeing none, I'll ask staff if we have any public comment requests submitted electronically.
We do not.
Thank you. At this time, I'll close this phase of this agenda item for public comment and bring the item back to the committee for discussion. And we'll center our discussion on the items 1 through 8 that we wish to move forward tonight. And I will start with Committee Member Lakon.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you to staff for presenting such an organized set of materials for us to analyze this evening. I don't see ruling out any of these products yet. I think the more variety for our homeowners, the better. And I can't, between the two of the newer ones, the Eco, the Enviro, I don't see enough of a difference to differentiate the other one from the other. Besides the ends, I do think one of them looks a little more natural, which was the Eco. But as far as I can't rule out any of them tonight.
Thank you. Committee Member Chang.
I just want to make sure that I understand. Are we trying to make a decision on recommending this product to Planning Commission?
We are going to eliminate now any products that we do not wish to go forward. But we're not going to talk about color right now.
Correct.
But if any of the products you think are not appropriate for our residents, then this is the time.
Okay, I would take out number 3, the DECRA. I would take out the GAF 6 and 7, and the rest of them I think we can recommend going to Planning Commission for their concurrence.
Thank you. Committee Member Batney.
I have exactly the same take as Committee Member Chang.
Thank you. Vice Chair.
Thank you. Yes, I would think item number one is fine. And all 3, either line or, well, we're not talking about colors, but just all 3. And the item number 2, yes. Number 3, DECRA, I really hesitate on that one. It's just, I don't see how it's going to work well. So I would say take out number 3. Number 4 is fine. Number 5 is fine. Number 6 and 7, I'm concerned because it doesn't really seem to offer anything. It's too thin. Number 8, I would support the Woodmore, but not the other line. I think it's
only Woodmore.
Okay.
Thank you. I'd like to have just a little bit more discussion. My thoughts were to move forward on EcoStar, to move forward definitely, of course, on the certainty that the Solaris that we've approved previously, to move forward on Woodmore. I'd like to know, I appreciate Vice Chair's comment on 6 and 7, that he doesn't think it's thick enough. I would like to know what Committee Member Chang and Committee Member Batnage think are the concerns on 6 and 7. And then on number 2, I think I just was stuck on the sample. I just felt that number 1 was so much more realistic looking than number 2. So I guess I really want to see what the thoughts are.
I can start. So as far as the ground sequoia, I thought it was just it was noticeably thinner than the other similar competitors, I guess. So I just didn't really see any advantage to having 3 different materials where one of them is notably less, will create less of that shadow or that more realistic thick shake look. That was my thinking. I agree with you that the number one seemed 1 and 2 being similar to each other in some ways. 1 seemed preferable, but it also seemed like number 2, the EnviroShake. By the end of the presentation, once we had asked questions, I thought it still had merits and still looked good and still seemed realistic enough. That was just my thinking. Just one thing as an aside, right now, I just want to point out that right now our list, I think our list approves presidential but not presidential TL. Sorry, or is it landmark? Yeah, so hopefully we're gonna swap that out. We're going to remove, okay, I see
Yeah.
nodding heads, so yeah, sorry if that's been addressed already. That's all I have to say.
Committee Member Chang, would you like to speak on your concerns about number 6 and 7,
Okay,
amongst others,
right.
if any?
Before I go into 6 and 7, I like to recommend 1 and 2 because I think there are so many different styles of homes in the city. I think we should allow the designer or the architect to be able to understand the architecture style, the roof line, the slope, and allow them some option rather than having the same roof type all the time. So having 1 and 2 as a consideration, we may achieve better result.
And you thought 2 looked realistic enough?
Yeah, different looks. Because the style of the home sometimes and the age of the home could dictate a better solution with a more choice. That's my thought. 6 and 7, if looking comparing GAF to with the certainty material, look at the product, they are actually thinner by look, and it just couldn't achieve the TL look on the 3-layer look. It's already going down to a fiberglass roof. If we don't achieve the highest level of aesthetic value, I think we would lose too much as far as holding the value for the design guidelines requirement.
Thank you very much. I think fellow committee members are convincing me to consider number 2.
Can I make a comment? We're still, I want to clarify that we are still looking at the same conditions for any of the comp shingle.
Conditions are going to be on phases 3
Right,
and
but we're
4.
not looking at, when we're considering this round right now, we're looking at conditions later, but when we talk about the comp shingles, that we're still, the staff is still recommending the conditions that we have currently.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Vice Chair, did you want to speak on any of the ones you have concerns on? No. So it sounds like we have consensus view, and correct me if I'm wrong, on 1, 2, 4, 5, and 8. Is that correct?
Good. That's my list.
So do we have a motion?
Let me go give it a try. I move to forward under phase 1 list, the material on 1, 2, 4, 5, and 8 to Planning Commission for them to consider and concur with our recommendation.
And I'll second. Can we have a roll call?
Committee Member Lakon,
No.
Committee Member Chang,
Yes.
Committee Member Batnish,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cho,
Yes.
and Chair McKay.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes 4-1.
Okay. So we're going to move to phase 2. Is everybody with me? We're okay on time? I think we are. All right, let's move to phase 2, which is going to be consideration of colors. We are still on the same agenda item, consideration for the pre-approved roofing material list update, phase 2 color selection for roof materials, and I'll invite staff to present.
Yes. So you do have a document here. And also you have a separate document that has all the colors. It's a thicker document. Obviously, when something gets printed, it's not as exact. We do have some of the colors available for you to look at. And then on the back of these material boards, some of them also have those color palettes on them as well. I would suggest that the best way to go about it is clearing through, having a discussion of 1 through 18. I know it seems like a lot, but some of these products you've already seen. So for instance, product number 1, which is the Mission Clay Towel. Let me actually share the screen for the public.
And it's not going to be, I just want to clarify, it's not going to be 18.
Right, because you have eliminated some products. That's correct. Yes. Yeah.
So let's just,
So I won't talk about those.
okay.
1 second. Okay. And I kind of made it a little bit bigger on this version. So currently for number 1 is the Mission Clay Tile, which is the 2-piece barrel, which is on our pre-approved material list. Currently, residents who apply for a roof can only choose red. Staff is suggesting that we change the wording instead of red to various red tones, because when someone comes to me and they choose Boral as a Mission Clay Tile, the product isn't just red. It's Santa Barbara red. It's, it's a light red with a brown tone. There's a variety of reds. So to say just red, you're limiting to only a true red, and no manufacturer has the same color names across all of their tones. So we're suggesting various red tones. We're open to other wordings. But when the public looks at this, they think that they're only subject to one specific model, but you can't carry that across a variety of manufacturers. We can discuss this specific number 1 and move on, or we can continue with the rest of the numbers. Sure.
We can approve it as we go down, I think.
Yeah,
I think otherwise it may become unwieldy. Should we do that? Should we go as we go down?
Go ahead and ask a question.
I can't. What was that?
Are you talking about usually when people Spanish tile, Spanish clay tiles in
Yes.
their homes, they have a color already, and then they reuse the tiles when you re-roof.
Some reuse the tiles, some are doing brand new tiles.
Okay, so I didn't remember if we were recommended we just reuse the tiles, and then we have to maybe add some for broken tiles. So then you're allowed to match if you need to add some to whatever color you have based on.
Yes. But for those who are doing a brand new tile reset, like not reusing it, just a brand new tiles from another manufacturer they're choosing.
And they're not using an aged. Look, so you're saying somebody actually takes off all the old tile and gets rid of all of them and puts on a brand new tile roof on a Spanish house.
Yes.
Okay.
And this also goes for new homes. So if like someone's doing a new Spanish home, which got approved by Planning Commission last week, they're choosing a brand new Mission Clay tile. So this is to guide staff and how do we approve them in regards to the color tone.
But we're not looking at material at a brand, at a
We're
different
not a specific
manufacturer.
brand.
Okay.
It's a variety of brands as currently listed. It's just the color.
Okay.
So if I'm hearing the suggestion from my fellow committee members, maybe we can, as we're going through, address them and agree on them and then do the motion at the end.
Sure,
though.
sure.
Okay.
This is just an idea. It sounds funny to me to say red. Is it maybe an idea to say different shades of terracotta?
Sure, we're open to suggestions.
I feel like that's a little slightly more specific to the Spanish style than red. Just an idea.
Any thoughts?
It also might eliminate some. I bet that there's some weird Spanish tile colors.
There
out there,
is.
like
I mean,
orange.
there's blue. I mean, there's some red with copper tones in it. Some
right. He's calling maybe perhaps I'm just putting it out there, saying various terracotta shades might clarify that it's looking for a more traditional look. Like terracotta cannot be with copper, I would think, for example, or it couldn't be blue or.
And Eric's passing around, so this is a product that, it has a variety of tone colors and they use a mix of different Mission Clay tiles to and it's all the same manufacturer, it's just a blend of reds that they use.
Well, I know that we've brought upon the multi-colored.
Well, and then
terracotta
maybe that
tiles
should be
in a blend.
specified because it
And I
just
thought
says
that
red.
was- Oh, okay, I thought it was that we don't use the ones that are multi.
Maybe we should specify,
Thought it
it
was
has to be
specified, but-
uniform color.
We can be as specific as we want.
Yeah,
So you're
right
saying
now it's
it-
just red.
Oh, okay.
Uniform terracotta
Okay.
shade.
We can provide more.
Or we could leave it the way it is. Okay.
What's the consensus view on Committee Member Batnish's suggestion? I'm fine with it. Are there any other
Terracotta
thoughts?
with,
I think it
Various
might
red-
eliminate
various red
some of the more
tones.
wild.
well, I think various red
colors.
tones is clear. That's clear. Various red tones, that eliminates blues and peach.
Sure. But you brought up a fact where it's multi-tone. It doesn't eliminate multi-tone because even and we can get to that as part of the special requirements, actually. So we're just choosing colors right now.
Any one of those. It is in the same red tone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, maybe red is more specific, actually. But we want to say not mixed and not.
All right, is this
multi-tone.
one the thumbs up for number one? Are we all in agreement? Okay,
Yes.
excellent. All
Yes.
right.
So number two, pretty simple. If someone were to choose natural slate on their home, they're currently they're supposed to put on a gray color. We don't suggest any change. We hardly get any new slates in the city. So we're suggesting no change on this unless the committee would like to change it.
I'm amenable as it is. How does everybody else feel? No change. Okay,
No changes.
good.
So number three is the simulated slate in DaVinci. It's also a product we don't get as much people asking for, but it is a pre-approved product. The two colors that are currently on the pre-approved list are the smoky gray and the castle gray. The castle gray is Title 24 compliant. Staff is suggesting, after doing some research, some other colors such as slate black and slate gray. You can see in subsection C, there are other colors, but staff found those colors to be not really consistent in what the city tends to look for. You don't have to take on our suggestion of slate black or slate gray. We can keep the colors as is, the two existing colors. But we just want to provide a variety of choices for homeowners to choose from.
Do we have that on here?
Yeah, the first page?
It's the very first page.
Yes.
Sorry, okay.
You want to keep the Title 24 color, right? I mean, is the idea is
We're just
to
adding
adding that to-
adding these two, not taking away.
Okay.
So we already have one title 24. We're looking at adding, you're suggesting an additional.
Yeah. Yep.
And the reason is for the addition of the slate black is because it's appropriate with some of our homes. And have you had applicants ask for it?
No, I mean, once again, slate is not a really common question we receive. Reason being is because it seemed like, especially with the composition shingle colors, there seemed to have been some leniency to getting these more blacker tones in the city, and that's why we were suggesting this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that the slate black in DaVinci isn't as black as, it's not a dark black.
It's not a jet black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm comfortable with these suggestions. I think they're thoughtful. Any dissent or concern? I think we can move forward. Okay, very good.
Number 4 is a new addition to the list because it wasn't addressed in the current pre-approved list, but there's quite a few homes that have tar and gravel on, and so it should just be addressed in case they want to re-roof it. Therefore, it would be a new material being added by various manufacturers. and we're suggesting the color as natural.
What does that mean exactly?
So most tar and gravel roofs, you have the white underlayment and then you have the grayish looking gravel on top.
Is that widely known as natural? I mean, will it be
I mean,
clear?
that's a good question.
I
We can
don't know.
specify.
It seems a little vague to me.
Yeah.
I've seen in other cities, not in this city, of using a more beige brown gravel. But in this city, as examples in this city, I've only seen gray gravel.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do we want to?
I'm thinking the roof at Shakers in South Pass is tan.
Mm,
Say that again.
The roof at Shakers in South Pasadena. It's kind of a
Oh.
Googie style
sand
restaurant.
gravel.
To me, I've just noticed it. It's gravel and it looks tan. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking when
So
you said,
we-
And that's not a positive.
well, it's a shake. It's a different style. It's a
Right. I
It's
don't
not a
think
style-
it's a
it's a
positive.
Googie style restaurant. So it's different, but we don't have houses like that here.
I-
But when you said tan, I made me think I've seen tan, I believe.
Yeah.
I guess my feeling is, but let's everybody chime in. I'm amenable to putting a suggested color, but I don't know if natural is going to do it.
Natural gray.
Natural
Yeah.
gray.
Natural
tone.
gray,
I
I could
think-
go for
I
that.
think natural gray tone will probably make sense.
How about natural
If
gray
you don't like
Oh,
the
gray.
tan
or just gray?
because
you need- what's
they do
natural
come in
gray?
all kinds of natural color,
They do.
right?
They
So
do.
I mean,
so
gray is a pretty wide, like, there's a lot of grays. There's,
so what's
there's
nat-
gray
what-
that's
but
close,
what's
there's,
natural gray?
there's gray that's
know,
close
like,
to
what's
black and
natural
there's
gray?
gray that's close to white.
So
So maybe we should
be more specific about the gray.
be slightly more specific than just gray, because gray can, like I said, it could be it could be white or
Are you
black.
suggesting
almost.
like medium gray, dark gray? Are you suggesting?
Sure.
I
like,
don't
what are
know.
you
I'm not
gray?
really familiar. with this.
Potentially natural gray, non-white, non-black tones,
What's natural gray?
or gray with no white or black tones.
That seems
Natural.
closer.
Okay. I think-
yeah, that would.
think
give you
natural will
some-
have all
some
those
kind of
tones in it.
range. Instead of, they said, well, white is part of gray and.
Yeah.
I guess if you.
Medium
says
gray?
that not,
Maybe
no black.
something
and
I
like
think
white,
it should be a
medium.
shade of gray. I agree with
Shade.
committee member Lake. I think we need to
a
otherwise
medium?
it's the entire
Maybe
spectrum
medium.
of gray.
Yeah, maybe something along the lines of medium.
Yeah, medium gray is
It,
fine.
it would clarify that we're not talking about white or black. We're not talking about something
Right.
very close to white.
Dark
We're
gray,
not talking
Right.
about- yeah.
you know,
Right.
But there's still some leeway for
okay.
medium.
I'm comfortable. with
The
medium.
medium gray, I have no problem with it. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I would say instead of natural, medium gray.
Medium gray tone.
Going to new color.
Do we have a consent?
Committee member Lycon. I'm going with what they're going. How does everybody feel about that?
That's okay. Sounds fine.
I'm okay with that.
Okay,
Mhm, Yes.
So just to make sure, the consensus, it's medium gray.
correct.
Medium gray
Yes,
tone,
sir.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, what's your suggestion, medium gray?
Okay. And so number 5, it's also not on the list, but we're adding it just for clarity of the residents and for staff. For natural wood shake and shingles not simulated, but the natural, as there is no pre-approved colors on the list, our suggested color is just natural.
Natural,
Should we say natural with what?
Sure.
because there's like red, I mean, if you really want to get specific, there's red cedar, there's white cedar, there's
But I think
different,
anyone
but I
putting-
mean,
It could be washed
But
out.
it's
and it
all-
could still be natural.
I know, but anyone's
Yeah.
putting wood cedar is trying to replace a wood shake roof. And
But
they're
you don't want some
trying.
really light wood on there, do you?
Well, it comes at a certain, like, I mean, you see them put on brand new, they're very light and then they darken up in the next
depending
couple
on
of
which
years.
kind of cedar it is, yeah.
I mean, everyone I've
think it-
seen in around my house has gone on and looked kind of light and then it's darkened up over a
Mhm.
couple of years.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters what color it's put on because it changes within
It changes. I mean, I
sometime
even
within the
seen the-
first year or two, it
You
changes.
change part of your
completely.
house, then it's lighter and then it,
Suggesting we don't need to make a change on this one. Maybe the answer is we don't need to do anything. on
think-
it.
Yeah, maybe.
I think we should.
We
do
need
that.
Natural, I guess,
We don't need
implies
the
that
natural
it's
instead of
whatever the
natural
natural
wood.
color is.
Yeah.
I think,
Or,
Yeah,
or
natural
not have
wood.
anything.
I think
I think we
natural
should use
wood
natural
makes
because
sense, right?
people with wood shake roofs, I've seen that where they're replacing one side only. They don't have to replace the whole. They're trying to match what they have as opposed to put a whole new, because it's one of the nice things that you can put on. You can do one part of your house and then it will over time age and blend in with the rest of your roof theoretically, right? That's what I've seen.
If you can find a roofer. who will
If
do
you find someone who's still qualified to
it.
do one.
Nobody wants to repair, they want to do the whole roof.
Yep.
What's the consensus? Do we want to leave it alone or say natural wood?
I would
Or-
keep it natural.
Or no color, no suggested color.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because
No,
there's
just
no-
leave it
yeah.
the way, leave it be. As it is right now.
Or
it's
just-
none.
Oh, none. Yes, I prefer none to natural because it could cause confusion.
Let's leave it at none.
Leave it at none.
Let's
no
leave it at
problem.
none. Let's leave it
none.
alone. Okay.
It
Yeah.
doesn't come in colors, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
come in.
Yeah.
No suggested.
Any color is
No
fine.
suggested color.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
no.
I did see somebody painted their wood shake roof black, I believe. I don't know what, I saw it happen. I don't know what they did.
Really?
I don't know about that.
Okay. I
I
saw
still like natural wood better. It just seems to, we kind of hedge it a little bit better than none.
Than what we have right now. What's your thinking?
Oh, I'm just saying that I prefer either natural or natural wood, but not none.
people come.
Well, when it says
ultimately
none,
accept
it's not gonna
any-
say none when they go in. It just doesn't have a
Color.
preference.
No.
There's no
particular
preference.
Color.
Oh, well.
That, yeah, it
Well-
doesn't say none.
Well, it would say none.
It would say none.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it could say any.
It's not on there right now. They
Yeah,
took it
it's not
off.
on there right now.
Any,
Remember it was removed.
any real wood shingle is acceptable.
Well, that's natural
Then
wood
we'll
color.
go to
but that-
natural wood. Then we'll go to
It
natural
basically
wood.
like natural wood color, right?
Worried that someone's, I know it sounds funny, but you know, when you're worried about, you know, is my roof gonna get approved or whatever, and you don't really know much about this stuff, someone might be like asking their roofing company, is this natural wood color? Or, I mean, I know it sounds silly, but it's,
That could throw someone.
it
because
could, it could
you know how
actually
colors
throw
are when you
someone
look
off
at
for
white
real.
paint and then you said it's not white paint and then there's
Because I've,
100,000
you know, a
colors.
lot of times you see wood
lot of-
shakes, they look, you know, they look reddish or whatever, and someone might be like, that's not natural, I'm gonna not get this
Then what do you
approved."
suggest? You are suggesting none?
I would still suggest perhaps to address what you were saying, it could be like there is no particular approved color for natural wood shake,
This
rather than
idea-
saying no.
The idea is try to not encourage them to color the roof. In other words, if they put the
Right,
shingle and
oh.
wood shake on it,
All of a
if
sudden
they
they're
decide
tinting
to
it.
add color to it,
Right.
we
Because
don't want them to
someone-
add color to
oh,
it. We
I
want to
see.
leave it in natural state. That's the whole
Oh.
idea.
So natural wood would seem,
Maybe considering what's happened recently, that's never, one we never thought would ever happen. If we know what we're talking about with the, what's the material called that on Virginia?
You're not talking about the white roof.
No, I'm talking about the lawn. What happened? What is that?
oh.
Nobody could ever anticipate something like
Right,
that.
right.
So maybe
The art-
natural would make sense. Pardon?
The
Yeah.
artificial turf.
Right,
Yeah, that's the term.
right. Could never have anticipated that, but I guess the idea of saying natural wood would be just what you were saying, committee member Chang.
Yeah,
that
I don't
somebody
want
could
them to
come in
add
and
color
go,
to it.
oh, here's my
Wood.
wood shake roof and it's
They put wood shake in
You
it.
know,
Why I like to tint it, but
maroon or
they
or
they can tint it, they can stain it, they can,
forest green.
and then
Right.
we got a problem. They said, I got the right wood
Okay.
color, but I
wood shade,
Natural wood.
natural wood shades.
Natural wood shades.
you can put on natural wood color.
Yes,
I
that
mean,
seems more clear. to
Okay,
me, To
Well,
me.
all right,
That's my
Well,
vote.
Wood.
okay.
okay, all
all
right,
right.
this natural wood is fine.
We're coming around. Okay,
Natural wood color.
okay.
All right.
Number 6.
I like those two.
Okay, so for number 6 is
Oh, I
one
see,
you've seen across the
suggested
city,
root
which is the
color.
Cedar Light. Currently the city pre-approves Silverwood, Ironwood, and Heartwood. And staff has received a lot of comments from the public that these 3 colors are hard to come by. And so they have stated that Tahoe Blend and Autumn Wind and Winterwood Blend are more easily accessible with contractors.
What page is
Do we
this?
have those here? I see.
First
Yes,
page in the
yes,
back.
they're there.
Can I
okay,
just
the
go
back
look
side.
for a second?
Backside of it, yeah.
No, I'm on this, but I want to see the.
Oh, you're on it
Oh,
here.
so that's the second page.
second page?
Yeah. They should be in order as we're going. along.
Okay, okay, gotcha. Silver wood, iron wood. Hardwood,
That's weird.
bottom wood, Tahoe blend,
Tahoe and.
and winter wood. Okay,
Are
all
they there?
right.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I do actually. It just warned me right now. Yeah.
I think I saw that. That looked nice, but.
Wait, let me see. Oh, that's fine.
Is anybody or zero? Okay, thoughts? I think winter wood's a little bit light, but what does everybody else think?
Yeah, I think it's too light.
Are we comfortable with autumn wood and Tahoe blend?
But they're not.
Which we
there.
have no samples here, right?
They're not there.
No, but we have the color here.
In terms of photos of Tahoe blend, and which I've looked at
Yeah,
online,
Tahoe.
I've always thought that Tahoe blend looked like but without seeing it, I'm a little reluctant.
Sorry, you thought Tahoe blend looked what?
I thought it looked good,
Oh.
but I haven't seen it in person, and I'd prefer to.
Tahoe blends up.
And I have not seen autumn wood. I don't know how that looks either.
Well, if we have to see it in place, I don't know how far we're gonna get on this list then.
Is it possible to get the actual piece of the three? We can do it at a later date.
We could, if we can narrow it down enough, we can ask for more material samples for these specific colors.
On these
Okay.
three specific color.
I mean, if the committee feels more comfortable with that, then maybe we won't make a motion on phase two, but we'll
On this
we'll
three,
narrow,
yeah.
we'll at
Until-
least
unless we-
be close to it.
Yeah.
You know, because we've made this progress. Is that the case that we want to see the three samples?
I think so, yes. They all look viable to me.
I think Winterwood looks too light.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I meant that those two that we were discussing. Personally, I don't want to go forward with the winter.
I don't either, but does everybody agree on that? We could just get two, or does anybody like Winterwood?
Yeah, autumn wood and Tahoe blend look like worth seeing.
And the Tahoe blend, it is 3 different colors within that blend. So we would get 3 samples for the Tahoe blend and then 1 specific
Okay.
sample for the autumn one.
How
Okay.
blend be darker than what we see out there?
Winterwood is the lightest.
It's a
Yeah, it's too
like
light,
this
I
one,
think.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too light.
Yeah, and what about autumn wood? Because it looks a little bit on the light side as well.
I haven't seen that in person.
Okay.
I've only seen the Tahoe blend because someone brought it to the counter.
Oh, okay.
Actually, the
You're not suggesting autumn wood, correct? That isn't highlighted. Or
Well,
you're-
it's
what's
highlighted because we have that sample here.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
Yep.
we are suggesting it, but you
Wait.
can remove it.
No. that's
So
a
in
different
addition to
concept.
Winterwood being
This is- we're
objectionable,
talking
you
about
don't like
cedar
autumn
light.
wood either? It's up to, I mean, it's
I'm
up
not
to the
sure.
committee because
I was.
autumn woods out there.
We do not have autumn wood.
no.
Don't have it.
Okay. Do we want to see it?
I think so.
Okay, you do or don't?
I don't know. Has someone here seen autumn wood?
No.
I guess
Unless
I'd like
it's-
to see it.
Okay, then
Say-
we'll see, then can we see autumn wood and Tahoe blend? Okay, okay.
we'll look at those in real life.
Yep. Okay,
That's why the winter wood plan looks a little bit too light
Yeah.
in real. in
you're
real
saying there
life.
should be another one.
We add to it. We're missing something darker.
Yes.
I don't know if these two models were going to get you darker than what we currently have.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
And this is the
would-
Maxis model offers as well.
And there's anything that has the grayer tone in it.
Right.
They don't offer something like that.
No, that would already be the silver wood we already have. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so is it clear?
Yeah.
What we're doing? Okay. We'll move on to 7.
Okay. For 7, so we have the 2 pre-approved colors of the cedar, which is live oak and Walden. We have Shiloh, wasn't it just right here? Oh, it's over there. We do have Shiloh here.
Can we pass it around?
And then what we don't have is the golden cedar, and golden cedar out of the 3 is the only one that's Title 24 compliant.
So the top is brand new and then the bottom is color ages.
Oh, okay.
So they.
Thank you.
The
That's
Title
helpful.
24 is when
You're
they're
just
doing
saying
it.
that the top is.
They're trying to make
The top of the
meet a
tile
formula,
is
correct?
new
So it
installation, and the
might
bottom
involve
of the tile
more
is
of the remodel.
aged.
And and they have to by code meet it?
It depends on a variety of factors, but
Live oak.
to
Walden,
need Title 24.
Shiloh.
Yeah.
So it's this one that's being,
So this could,
okay.
not having a Title 24 could eliminate this
Being
product
From
considered.
from their
choice.
choices
Yeah.
based on their complete project.
Exactly.
project.
Ages,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
ages on the bottom. This is new installed and this is aged.
And
there's like a
the
slight-
color is on it should be on your packet as well.
Right.
Okay, yeah, yeah, very subtle.
And I think that
It's page 3.
and none of the other products, I mean, the cedar light are Title 24, are they? I think they're asking us to add the golden cedar, which we don't have it. So
Right.
it is Title 24.
I think I'm fine with 3 colors.
I am
All
too.
3,
The 3 colors?
3 additional colors.
No, there's 2
Oh,
additional.
the
There's only 2.
The Shiloh and the golden cedar are the ones we're suggesting to get added.
yeah,
Number 7.
Shiloh and golden cedar.
Just- it's color.
That's Shiloh. Those 2 are the ones we already have.
Label. Yeah.
We don't have the golden cedar.
But that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. It's. I think the color is fine.
I do too.
Yeah, I think it will work.
Because it's Title
From-
24.
I think just if this is helpful, it's said on the cedar website that golden cedar is similar in look to the live oak color.
Yeah.
But I guess it's Title IV compliant, so they give it a different name. I don't think it's exactly the same color, but they make it sound like it's very similar.
I think we should move
I think
forward
we should go
way
with
that-
the Title 24 option also to give
Both
the
of them.
homeowner.
Allow
Yeah,
both,
so add
yeah.
the 2.
I think everybody agrees we should go with
Yes.
both of them and move on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continue.
Yes, this is a yes.
So then, number 8 is the simulated wood shake Da Vinci. Currently we have the 2 pre-approved colors, which is Tahoe and Mountain.
Mhm.
They have a lot of colors. We're suggesting only a handful of them, which is aged cedar, black oak, mossy cedar, and autumn. I do not have color samples for any of those. We do have the printout in that packet we gave you. This isn't a product that people choose as often in comparison to the other models on our pre-approved list, but we're just trying to give a better variety of color choices.
Wait, where is it?
And we have or we
Oh,
don't
here
have?
we go.
We do not have the new colors that we're suggesting get added.
But you've seen them.
I have not seen them in person.
Oh.
We were picking them based off the color tones that seem to be appropriate for the city.
The picture looks good, but
The pictures
I
look
just
good.
want to make sure that the real product can
Yeah,
deliver that look.
I would like to see these, but they look good. They look like worth asking
look
for samples.
Like the
all of them.
They do look.
Can
good.
can we agree that we just need the 4 samples, no other colors?
Yeah, none of
Yes.
the,
Fine.
none
I'd
of
like
the
to see
other
that.
ones.
Okay, the full color is good choice,
Yeah.
but we just want to kind of see it. Okay,
Yeah,
the 4 is fine.
yes.
Okay.
It's good.
Moving on to number 9. This is the EcoStar Empire Shake. I know this is harder because it's a new product that we're suggesting or that's being considered. We're suggesting that there's a lot of colors. We're suggesting the 2 colors of Auburn Acorn and Hampton Harbor, both of which are Title 24 cool roof compliant. I believe we have,
Harbor and Acorn and Harbor.
do we have both of those colors?
Oh,
Yeah, we do have both of those colors here.
Oh, okay.
Could we pass them around?
Yeah, those look good. Those look. Do we have, oh no, that's like purple.
Let me make sure. No one has asked to have these products installed yet.
No.
Okay.
They usually just go off the pre-approved list
Okay.
because it's a lot of research to get to what we're doing today.
Yeah.
We were just asked to consider more gray.
Yeah, but I mean, I know that we're not supposed to be answering people who, you know, come, but in theory, that applicant could come and ask for,
But we
a
do
certain
need
color.
gray. I believe we need more gray tones. And
That's what he was saying.
but as
Yeah.
an automatic approval.
No, but we
Oh.
need more options with
Oh,
with a darker
the two
gray, like
here,
there's
like a
certain
wood
colors
that
that
looks
we
gray.
approve, but only like upon,
Is there another
like it's not
color?
really pre-approved for any house, but it's approved.
if they come before us
If
and
they
we've
come,
done it,
I
that's
guess
how
if
we
they
got
come before us, we
Solaris.
always,
Yeah.
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 Thank you.
It doesn't look aged enough. It
Oh,
doesn't
okay,
look
yeah, Auburn
wood.
is good. That's good. Yeah, it's really nice. Perfect. Auburn, and then the other one is
Okay. Driftwood.
Hampton Harbor.
What is this
Oh,
one?
yeah, I don't.
This one I like better than
Yeah.
this.
This
I don't like
Hampton
that.
Harbor?
Actually,
Yeah, it says Hampton Harbor.
I don't like Hampton.
Okay, this is right, Hampton Harbor, huh? Yeah, it's kind of.
Looks like
why are we?
diarrhea.
Looks kind
Okay, no, no, no.
That's like that. Even that is been very.
Driftwood?
I
You
wasn't-
like this one?
That's the one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what was that? I'm sorry? Oh, Driftwood, that's not even being recommended. Okay. Uh-oh.
I want to say that.
So we don't have these here.
Not even there, right?
Yes.
No.
Aspen Glen is at the very bottom. That's highlighted, but they're not suggesting it.
Oh, this is Auburn Acorn? Is that what the back says?
Yes.
Oh, Auburn, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
That's a brown
That's not-
color.
Okay, that's not the harbor one. The harbor one is something else. Okay.
The harbor is more gray. This
Mhm.
brown tone is Auburn Acre.
That's the first one, Auburn Acorn, right? It's a 24 color.
Yeah, the only one that I like is,
Oh, I can agree
the,
with that.
That's
the
fine.
Auburn.
That's fine.
Can we agree to Auburn?
That's the
Acorn?
only one that
Yes.
I
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we
Okay.
can agree to that.
I don't like that one.
Yep. I don't either.
So we can agree to Auburn Acorn. It sounds like the committee consensus is Auburn Acorn, Hampton
Yes.
Harbor, no.
No.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Staff, are you getting this?
Yeah.
Somebody, anybody?
Yep.
Is this
And then are
EcoStar
we
or
going to
the-
consider another one since we're bringing this
Right.
new roof to the people?
We should
Which
give
is-
it a choice.
Yeah, so at the bottom,
One color doesn't seem very, very.
the bottom is Aspen Blend, which wasn't something we were looking into because it wasn't something we were discussing before, but obviously with the discussion of the manufacturer, we can bring that back and see what color choices in that specific sub-model
Good.
of Aspen Blend.
You're gonna bring it.
We could, yeah.
I think we should,
Oh.
yeah.
And what about chestnut brown? Or that looks,
Where did you see that? Where do you see that?
I'm
Yes,
looking
I see, yes, I
Echo-
see.
in our packet.
Yes,
You see chestnut.
Echo Star.
right here.
Yeah, chestnut brown.
Here.
Oh, okay.
On the other page.
Oh, the blacker looking,
The second row
yes,
first.
It looks.
It actually
kinda-
does look kind of, yeah.
Is it very black? Cause there's like 4 that all look kind of black. or
Cause I'm thinking
some-
midnight gray and federal gray.
Yeah, or even
wondering-
midnight gray.
What about
These
both
two.
of them? What about
Yeah, I'd like to
chestnut
see
brown and
Chestnut
midnight
brown
gray?
sounds like it might
Midnight
be
gray
on
and federal
more
gray,
brown
maybe.
side.
Okay,
Cause we've already approved, Driftwood it was a yes.
no, Auburn Acorn is a yes. Auburn Acorn.
Auburn Acorn.
Right.
which is on.
Something was driftwood earlier. Driftwood
Where
looks
is
light.
Auburn
But I
Acres?
thought, did we approve something called driftwood in a different, maybe it's a different manufacturer? I don't know.
So
Okay, so we want to see,
Aspen
Aspen
blend,
blend, chestnut brown,
Yeah,
midnight gray, and can you remember like
Fed-
federal
federal
gray?
gray.
Federal gray.
federal
Yeah,
gray.
that's fine. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
Number 10 is also another new material, which is Enviro Shake. We're suggesting the 3 colors of silver. I mean, they have very limited, that's basically their entire selection. His silvered cedar, aged cedar, and tropical silver. We have the aged cedar here. The separate model, which we didn't mention, is the Enviro Cool model, which is their Title 24 compliant. As you can see, these 3 colors are not Title 24 compliant.
They're not.
Yes. Because you would have the Title 24 compliant colors are under a separate model, Enviro Cool and not Enviro Shake, which is what you're considering right now.
So the aged cedar is the one that, remember, I had those
Yes.
two samples that I was holding up, and they looked like a good color to me.
Can I?
And the guy the representative for
Fan of
the
these, but yes.
company seemed to recommend that as the most natural. I don't know about the tropical silver and the silvered cedar.
Right.
Can I ask a question? Do most residents who want a new roof, are they asking about Title 24?
Yes.
Cool.
Actually,
So,
part of that is
so
silver
is there a reason
cedar,
that we
right?
aren't looking at the other line that has, like, this maybe?
Yes.
We should not. We should look at the Title 20.
So we shouldn't even be adding this.
No. I
I wasn't a fan of it anyway.
So if it doesn't even offer a Title 24, then I don't think we
really
need
should
this
look at a
product.
Title 24.
Sorry.
No, I mean, this is part of the discussion. I mean, it's from my understanding, and we can bring it back with clarification from the manufacturer. The product is the same. It's the colors they use in the blend. They have, so in the, I think, is it the second page?
I think something called Enviro Shake, and it isn't in Title 24. The
Right.
colors, it's going to be. why
We
did
can
you
bring
even
back
add it?
Enviro Cool colors if that's the
Just the
interest.
color, the material is
Yes.
the same, everything is.
Yeah,
same,
just the
color.
colors. Yeah. I don't have that information in front of me right
Okay.
now.
So as far as what we saw, I just realized that we have in front of us not just aged cedar, but we also had silvered cedar. Remember, I was asking if that was the same color, and someone said no, it's a slightly different color. So I would be okay with both aged cedar and silvered cedar.
Me too.
Very close anyway.
They're not,
Yeah.
fine, but do you
They're
understand
side
where?
by side. You can't even tell the difference.
Yeah, you can. It's
That
hard to
model,
tell the
that
difference.
board right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fine.
They both look
either
good to
one is
me,
fine.
but we don't have tropical silver in front of us, so I don't
The board.
I
we
don't know
have,
if that's really
they're
worth.
side by side, almost.
I think this is getting superseded because they're not Title 24. Am I right?
Since none of these are in their Title
colors.
24 line of a model, their model, then I
That's
don't know
true.
why we're considering adding
Title
something,
but why wouldn't we consider adding it anyway if we?
because we're not even giving them a Title 24 option. Like everything else has, except for Cedar Light.
But we might be if we're looking at the.
We're not, it's a different line. That we're not actually
Well,
looking at any.
yeah,
But it's,
can I-
apparently it's the same, except that
If
it's.
I can
different
interject really
colors.
quickly, I think one of the issues that our residents are having is the lack of choices. And so I do think that if you as a committee are okay with the suggested colors or a portion of the
Okay.
suggested colors,
Yeah.
that's great. We can move forward with that. And then we'll come back with the Title 24, and that's even
Okay.
more options. So I
So
think-
what I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
yeah, I'd
from-
like
from-
to see that also. in
So what I'm
addition
hearing
to-
is silvered cedar and aged cedar you're fine with.
I am.
Yep,
I just
agree
wish we
with
could
that. I
see
agree with
tropical
that. I agree
silver,
too.
but I'm
No
not sure.
tropical.
No tropical.
Silver cedar and aged cedar, yes.
Yes.
And we want to see a couple, one or two more.
And then, but it is,
options
it's from a different, it's called Enviro Cool model.
Enviro Cool.
So it's not
yeah.
the same. It looks the same, but it's a different line.
Yes.
But it's the
Right.
same manufacturer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
same
we'll just
color.
bring it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, number 11's off.
Yes.
Correct. That's all.
Number 12, I think we're very familiar with, right?
Yep.
So what's everybody think on 12?
I think that we've seen the black walnut and that looked good. I don't know the other two.
Well,
So we're gonna go with country gray?
More black.
And I would like to also clarify that this, because sometimes the cedar, Certainty mixes their colors, but for specifically the Landmark TL,
Uh-huh.
currently we only allow Shenandoah. They do offer country gray. We put that on there because we approve country gray for presidential. But they do offer Max Def, black walnut and more black and platinum.
I feel like we've approved more black.
I think we have in
think
this,
we
in the
did.
presidential.
Okay.
We have.
So how does everybody feel?
Can we,
Fine.
are they all
I think
there?
the-
Are they-
I'm okay with these.
Yeah.
Because
Are
they're
we
they're
okay
still,
with platinum?
there's,
I don't know how to plan them. look like.
but it's still a condition that you have to go, you
Well,
have to
so,
come to DRC if you don't have a,
yeah, but if you already have it, then, and if you want that color, you would be able to get it if it's on the list.
but you already have it and you're just trying to replace it.
Yeah.
Let's pass it around. The only question is platinum. That might not be the right way to go.
Is it gray or greenish?
Mm.
Yeah, that's, it's,
Should we do country gray, black walnut and more black? How does black walnut look? Let's pass it. Let's pass it.
I think it'll look good.
And none of these are Title 24. Wow. Oh, yeah.
No, because
but
the
we're down
Dolores
low.
model is, yeah.
Remember the box of 64 Crayolas with all the colors? I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually trying to get all these title approval themselves anyway, they're kind of behind them. People, they're trying to catch up now. So eventually they will have to meet that in order to use it,
Oh, anyway.
in order to sell it, yeah. So the black is fine. I just want to see how that platinum looks like.
Vice Chair?
Just-
Oh, do you mind doing it this way?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, platinum, no.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's
ooh.
very green and very gray.
What was the other one?
So the ones, the three are Max Def Black Walnut, Moria Black and Platinum, and Country Gray. Gray.
This is. We're not, that's.
We're not
suggested.
content
That's
with
not
these two.
suggested. That's not suggested. Yeah. Oh, okay. So this one's, all we're looking is this. I think we can agree, thumbs down on
No,
this,
forget
right?
that one,
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
Okay.
And the Country Gray is at the end. I know that we have approved that. I personally don't really like how loud it looks, but. Okay.
Why does it look like that?
I mean, it is a lighter color.
Okay.
Well, we have approved that before, right? Considering we have approved it a few times.
Okay.
We have sometimes.
Yes, thank you
Did
so
it give
much.
some
Sometimes it
variety of
looks-
color?
So should we say, agree with staff's recommendation, except platinum? Or I'm sorry, agree with staff's recommendation of country gray and add black walnut and more black?
Correct.
Are we
Correct.
agreed?
Take out
Okay.
platinum.
And take off platinum,
Mhm.
right?
That's it.
Are you with us?
Mhm.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So number 13 is the same thing, Landmark TL, but this is the Solaris version, which is basically their Title 24 compliant model. And they only offer one color. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Getting ahead of myself. We're suggesting country gray because that's been consistent in our theme. They also offer platinum and more black. You know, we can take platinum off, and if you're interested in seeing more black in Solaris, that would be fine as well.
Is it? here?
We don't have it here.
I don't
'cause
have
we-
the Solaris model of
Oh,
Landmark TL.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought we.
I mean, I don't know. I'm okay
Is
with
the
more black.
Solaris Platinum similar to the Platinum that we just?
I would
saw?
assume
Yeah.
so.
Okay, so I think
It
it's
might be
that.
a little,
Take platinum.
it'll be a little lighter.
Yeah.
which-
Yeah, which is maybe not.
Should we agree to country gray and more black?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
Yes.
we're agreeing. And no platinum.
No problem.
No Platinum.
Okay.
Number 14 is the presidential TL. So we're changing it from our pre-approved presidential and upgrading it to the TL version.
Mhm.
We're continuing with the country gray. We're suggesting aged bark, autumn blend, charcoal black, and shadow gray, as these have been consistent colors the DRC has approved in the past.
We've
Okay.
we've approved shadow gray all over the place.
And autumn blend and
And autumn blend, correct.
That's fine. The way.
I can do it H bark. I don't,
H bark, how does that look? Do we have?
it can be a little orange, but I think but in certain houses, it looks nice.
It's not there, is it?
But if,
Which one? Could you point
it does, but if you had a really earthy
Okay.
woodsy house, like you have along like the Arroyo, some of those mid-century ones, they kind of blend in.
Okay, I'm
Not
okay
that we have
without
that
it.
many,
I don't have.
but
You're okay without it?
Yes.
I'm okay without it also.
I think I'm. okay.
All right, okay. So
They
we're
could
gonna,
come to
so we're gonna
DRC if they
say
really
yes to
wanted it.
country gray, yes to autumn blend, yes to charcoal black, and yes to shadow gray, and no to aged bark.
Yes.
All right.
We have the autumn blend, the country gray, the charcoal. Even on. So it's this lowest model of presidential TL, autumn blend, country gray, charcoal black, and shadow gray.
Looks okay.
I can
Looks good.
approve all of these. Does everybody agree?
Yeah. All of the,
Yep.
all four. right?
Because we have approved them. I
Yeah.
think we have already.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
And then for
16
16
and
and
17
17,
off.
we're deleting. So we're moving on to number 18. Where staff is suggesting the colors of so this is Owens Corning and Woodmore model. We're suggesting the colors of chestnut, mystique, night sky, and timber. Night sky is the only one we're suggesting that's Title 24 compliant. The other colors are carbon, granite, mountainside, sandcastle, and sycamore.
Do we have, that's chestnut? Okay,
That's
That
good.
looks good.
that looks good.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Good.
The whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
okay.
oh, the color.
That's
Do
okay.
we have?
It's very dark.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
okay.
Woodmore, left side,
We
left
just-
side.
Left side, but it's very dark.
It's the same color though.
Do we have,
timber?
You have timber color?
The only color we don't have is the mystique.
okay.
Okay,
Okay, looks good.
that's okay.
All right.
Good.
Good job. Good choices.
And mesquite?
Mesquite, what are we gonna do in mesquite?
Does it have that color on there on the top? Can you pass that around for them to at least look at that color on there?
Oh, yes, because the highlights threw me. Highlights throwing me off.
Looks in the right range.
Sorry.
To me, yeah. Thank you. Seems all right.
Seems all right.
If we can find it online.
Carbon.
Nothing.
Does it have carbon there?
We have carbon here.
Oh,
Carbon is there too?
oh, yeah.
More. Mesquite with more.
This is the carbon.
It's a blacker, yeah, darker
Okay,
black.
good.
I don't like that.
I don't like
Like
it too.
that.
No, yeah.
No?
I say no. I
Tell
don't
me
know.
about it.
Yeah. How about you guys?
I'm
Yeah,
okay with
seems
it.
too flat.
You're okay with
Yeah,
it?
it seems kind of
Too
flat.
flat,
That's
right?
what, something that looked
Yeah.
like
okay.
tar.
So no,
Okay,
no carbon.
no carbon.
Okay. Did we hit it?
I think-
Well,
are we
do we
good
want
with
to look at any
mesquite?
of these other ones? Do we have any of these other ones?
I don't have them. Are they at the top?
Do you think
of
they're all
the-
light? Is that it? Is that why you're not
Yeah.
recommending
I
them?
don't think we need that many options for
Okay,
this.
I think we already got four.
we've got
Right, I
four.
think
So how do you suggest we proceed? Because we want to look at some samples.
What I would suggest is that you approve everything that you're okay with and make a motion to come back for staff to bring back the samples of those that you would like to see.
Okay.
So the goal here for staff would be to, if time permits, to go through all the phases,
Right.
get that approved, and whatever is left over, we can come back at a regular meeting
Right,
because I don't think it'll be that much.
right.
And then that way you can already have that.
So for the person making the motion, can they make a motion to, because you've been taking notes and it'll be really just too voluminous. I mean, can we
I think it would be simple as
move it?
making the motion to approve the list as directed
Right,
by the committee and bring back the samples as directed by the committee.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like
anybody
the
want to make that
I so
motion?
move Based on the same motion that Derek had spelled out on phase 2.
Is there a
On
second?
phase 2, basically.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call.
Committee Member Lakon,
Yes.
Committee Member Chang,
Yes.
Committee Member Batnish,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cho,
Yes.
and Chair McKay.
Is there any public comment?
Oh. Samad, can you confirm for me? Because I'm sharing my screen.
There's nobody present here. I'm stating for the record, there's nobody
No,
present
there's no one online.
and there's
There-
no one online. All
Yeah.
right, then I'll say yes. Okay.
So, for phase 3, which is another handout I gave you, we're specifically looking at, it might be rather quick. We're specifically looking at only the conditions of approval and special requirements for the types of roofing materials, not model specific, but type. So if we go over the first item, let's see here. So we have the 2-piece mission clay tile. Currently, the requirements is if you're going to put this on your home, it's only for application on Spanish or Mediterranean style architecture. Structural calcs are required if it's over 6 pounds per square foot, and referencing the design review guidelines, and staff inspection is required prior to the permit issuance. If you'd like to change any of this language, we can, or we can keep it as is. Moving on to the tar and gravel, because
Madam Chair, how would you like to do? Would you like to go through each one, or would you like to go through each one individually, get the comment, get the direction?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 6. Let's go through all of them and then just see if we can do something simple in terms of a motion,
okay.
please. Okay.
So tar and gravel is a new item we're adding. And so we're adding this requirement that it's only for applications on a roof that currently has permitted tar and gravel on the home, and it must comply with the California Building Code in regards to its installation. We don't have any additional special requirements that we can think of.
And I just, staff would like to emphasize the word permitted. So if we cannot find a permit for it, it would have to come before you.
Okay. Thank you.
Moving on to natural slate. So this isn't the simulated slate. It'll be natural. Must be applied with random tiles widths only for applications on Tudor style homes as identified on page 11 of the residential design guidelines. And staff inspection might be required prior to permit issuance. Following that is real slate. So, I mean, the fake slate, the simulated slate, must be applied with random tiles as well. Similar only on applications for Tudor style homes, and the same condition as follows. The other category is the natural wood shake or shingles. This is a new requirement. It's only for applications on a roof that currently has a permitted natural wood shake or shingle on the home, and it must have a minimum of Class A underlayment and Class A or B treated shingle or otherwise identified within the California Building Code. Lastly, for the simulated wood shake, we didn't change anything. The current language states that the 90-degree edge rakes are not permitted. Natural wood shake and shingles on the home, only for applications on Monterey Revival, Colonial Revival, Neoclassical, Tudor, Ranch, Cape Cod, and minimal traditional styles, as is identified on the residential design guidelines. Staff inspection may be required prior to permit issuance, and it must be installed like a natural wood shake edge.
Thank you.
I think it's okay.
Are there questions for staff?
On the natural slate and the simulated slate, if the home currently has a slate roof, thinking a particular house on Circle Drive that has a slate roof that is not Tudor style, do they have to, can they replace like for like.
No, they would have to abide by this current standard here.
So it seems to me that a house that originally has slate should be replaced with slate if the owner
Yeah,
wanted to.
I was thinking the
replace it.
same thing, like there's some kind of French style.
French
Right.
style.
That's what I'm
houses
thinking. The
that-
French style. It's on that house on Circle Drive.
Yeah.
That's like 1390
several
or
like that.
1380 Circle Drive. It's next door to the one that's being torn down, or it's next to 1400 Circle Drive. It's on that other side, and I think it's a French style, and it's slate, I believe.
Can we add an amendment
Okay.
here?
Actually, I've been corrected. Give me 1 second. The code does so the pre-approved roofing materialist doesn't mention that scenario, but our code does. So, let's see. So in item subject to design review, section E of our current code, which we're not changing right now. This is just the code as it's written. The complete or partial replacement of an existing residential structure requires approval of design review committee unless the replacement is of the same or similar material, color, and application which is being replaced or added. So to answer your question, you're correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And we can reference the code as part of this condition of approval.
Okay, and if an applicant saw that, I mean, someone who wanted to replace a roof and they saw the list, would it say on this pre-approval list that they could replace the materials what they have currently?
It doesn't, because this is how it's going to be worded, but we can now add that same language, duplicate it from the code and insert it in this special condition.
Okay, so they'll see it here.
So we can make a motion.
You can
with
make a
that
motion to
amendment.
add that. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions for staff?
The tar and gravel, could we say, since I don't know how it is applied or any conditions applied in the same manner that it's already existing condition?
We can
I
make
mean-
that statement.
What does that mean?
Well, none of us really know much about
Right, we have to be careful.
the ins and outs of the tar and
I'm
gravel.
trying to understand what's the purposes. You want it to be in the same condition that it's in?
Not the same condition, but is there a wording that would state that it would be applied in the same manner as the original?
Well, I think the reason why I wouldn't suggest that, maybe perhaps something of the lines that it be consistent with the building code up, because it would have been, could have been applied at a time where the application is different now. So either we leave it as is proposed, or we make an amendment that it be consistent with the building code.
Okay, it says that already. Yes,
Oh, I'm sorry, it does already. Oh, there you go.
you're so smart. Okay.
Any other questions for staff? Do we have any public comment?
No, we do not.
And there's nobody present here. Do we want to have any committee member discussion, or are we comfortable with the motion?
I'm good.
Everybody's good. Do we have a motion? Yes. We're good.
Can you just include, in the motion, can you include the amended, to include the added language from the zoning ordinance?
You want to?
Krista?
Yeah,
No, I don't
a
want-
motion,
Don't we
please.
make
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
or someone.
We're waiting for
somebody?
we're waiting for
I'm sorry.
Raymond. We're waiting for Raymond.
So, yeah, I will go ahead and move for the recommendation and the discussion on phase 3, adding the conditional approval, special requirement for roof materials per the director's recommendation and details.
Is that specific enough? All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there a second? Is there a
Got it
second?
all? Okay.
Roll call?
Because your mic was on, a committee member Lakon seconded.
I'll
So, yeah. So roll call, committee member Lakon,
Yes.
Committee Chang,
Yes.
Committee Batnish,
Yes.
Committee, Vice Chair Chow,
Yes.
and Chair McKay.
Yes. Moving on to phase 4.
Yes. So, the reason we're even bringing this up as a separate phase altogether is because the ad hoc committee, while discussing with staff, mentioned their interest in potentially changing the conditions of approval for ComShingle. With the main, the main component of ComShingle is that if you don't already have it on your home and you want it, you have to come to the DRC. Their thought process was potentially, well, can we open it up and see if there's some homes that maybe would be automatically qualified to do ComShingle without having to go to the DRC. So what I have before you is in red and in crossed out is just language we feel is redundant and we just want to remove altogether. But it's also to have an open discussion to see is the committee, do they want to change any of the prerequisites for composition shingle? And do they agree with staff in removing these strike throughs because it's not as applicable, I think, as it used to be.
And these strike throughs are being lined out because
So for instance, the first bullet point that the composition and materials not identified on the pre-approved material list are subject to DRC approval. Well, that's for everything. If you're not going to choose something on this pre-approved list, you have to go before the DRC.
that I understand.
The other strike throughs like number 5, all material packaging shall run from the same number and date. You know, when we do inspections, it's already on the roof by the time it's on. You can't cross-reference that.
But what about 7?
Well, so the product thickness, because we're choosing a variety of product models, they're going to have different thicknesses. They're not going to all be identical. So if we're already approving that material, why are we also reapproving the thickness of it?
Obviously, we don't have 9. We just
right.
Yeah, in our dreams.
I worry
in
about
our
that.
dreams, right?
The lifetime warranty
And similar with 8 and 9, it's just not as applicable.
scares me.
He says which? Whose lifetime? Okay. And number 8?
It's implied. I mean, that this is why it's going before the DRC for pre-approval.
Okay, I think I'm hearing from my fellow committee members, we're comfortable with the line throughs, but what about the more important question?
I am not comfortable with removing the condition of having a comp shingle currently.
I agree.
I
feel
So,
the same way.
I think
I still believe they should come to DRC if they're changing the material.
we don't have to, can we just make a motion to approve this and not make any changes to requirements of DRC approval for comp shingle? Or we don't even have to include that in the motion,
You
right?
don't even have to include it because the discussion here is that you don't want to change that. So that would have been reflected on this. So you can just make a motion to move to approve phase 4 as presented by staff.
I'll make
I do, before we get there, I do want to just let you know that everything that you will eventually forward to the Plan Commission, it's really up to them to decide whether they follow that. For example, they can follow everything, but they might say, you know what, we do want something, we want to provide a path for our residents to have composition shingle without going to DRC. That is a possibility. So I just want to let you know that. But obviously, we're going to present to them exactly what you are forwarding to them. So we'll present it as is.
Great. Vice Chair, you
In
wanna
that
make a
case, I'll
motion?
just make a motion to approve phase 4 as moving forward,
As presented by staff.
as presented in front of us.
Do we have a second?
A second.
Roll call?
Committee Lakon,
Yes.
Committee Chang,
Yes.
Committee Batnish,
Yes.
Vice Chair Chow,
Yes.
Chair McKay.
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, we are moving on to the consent calendar, approval of minutes. Are there any questions or concerns or amendments to the minutes for the regular meeting of October 18? Do we have a motion?
So move.
I'll
I
second.
move to approve the minute.
It's getting to be too short form.
And committee member Lakon seconded.
Oh, already? All
Yeah.
right. Okay. All right.
Okay. So for roll call, committee member Lakon,
Yes.
committee member Chang,
Yes.
committee member Batnij,
Yes.
vice chair Cho,
Yes.
and chair McKay.
Yes. And we'll move on to the director's report.
First off, thank you, Madam Chair. First off, I want to thank all of you. It's an outstanding job that you did tonight. I think this is something that the residents wanted. You provided a clear path of what, a number of choices. We're obviously going to come back to bring you back those materials, but I don't foresee that being a long endeavor. So I want to thank you. And I want to thank staff.
Yes.
Being such a young group.
Yes.
Yes. I think
Absolutely.
they did a great job, and it just shows the type of talent that you have here in the city. So I appreciate their efforts. I'll try to be as precise with my director's report, knowing the time. Giving you a brief summary on 1408 Wilson Avenue. That was an appeal from a DRC approval. The Planning Commission upheld the DRC approval with slight conditions on the project. That resolution will go back to the Planning Commission at the upcoming November meeting, which will have a special meeting because it's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so we're going to move it up. I think I think right now it's slated for November 21st. So I'll let you know how that goes. Also, the City Council has extended the artificial turf synthetic grass moratorium for an additional 10 months, 15 days, which is the maximum allowed by law. Also effective January 1st of next year, the governor has signed a bill 676 that would allow the city to prohibit synthetic grass, artificial turf completely. So that so far has been the direction of City Council to provide back or for staff to provide back a report that would prohibit it, but allow for some exemptions. And I'll get once we get that cleared up, I'll provide you a report on that. In terms of a forecast for the next meeting, which is slated for November 15th, we have about 6 projects, 4 re-roofs, a new window, and a new retaining wall. On the re-roofs, there's a continued project that you've already seen twice before, so that shouldn't take that long. And then for the upcoming meetings, we have about 10 to 11 projects that seem to be ready. So the meetings on December are slated for December 6th, December 20th. For the December 6th, it looks like we have 5 members that can make it. And for December 20th, 4 members that can make it. So, we will have a majority of quorum to hold both of those meetings. As the time gets closer to them, we can talk about the type of projects that will be slated for those meetings. Also, planning staff will be taking an ADU ordinance to the Planning Commission for the review, and all it is doing, it's keeping in line with the new state laws. And so we're just making it easier for anyone who looks at our zoning ordinance to know exactly what they're allowed to do under what parameters, and it's all essentially because of state law. And then finally, the fire department will be celebrating their centennial anniversary this upcoming Saturday, November 4th, from 9:30 to 11:30 at the firehouse. Everyone is welcome to attend. I think, one of the benefits of this city is the public service that both the fire department and the police department serve. They go well beyond the call of duty. They do a lot of things that in other cities they don't, and both of them are commanded, the fire department by Chief Rueda and the police department by Chief Encontro, and they just do great leaders, do a great job. So you can come out on Saturday and show their support for the fire department celebrating their centennial. That concludes the director's report. And once again, thank you so much for an outstanding job tonight.
Director, you were going to mention that we are not having
Oh,
a
yeah.
meeting.
So January 3rd, we're not having that meeting. Monday and Tuesday, our city hall is closed. based on the number of projects that we have and the noticing and so forth, and most likely the attendance from the committee members, we're probably not going to have enough to have a meeting. So the January 3rd meeting will be canceled.
So that's
Thank
the
you.
only meeting that's canceled?
Correct. Thank
Thank you very much. Thank you for all the great work. Do we have any written communications or public writings for distribution?
No.
And since we have no further business to discuss, the meeting will be adjourned at 9:01 p.m. And the next design review committee meeting will be held on November 15, 2023, 6 p.m. at the Barth Room of the Kroll Public Library.